Uncle, serve me my one. Hurry up, this pie is dry. Good. He's washing down. It's nothing.
He's choking.
Okay, before we start, just real quick, I gotta say, man, if anybody is watching this stream on a Mac computer, okay, an Apple computer, unsubscribe. If you are a follower of that kind of lifestyle, just we need you out of here. I accept that there's certain things on a Mac, like video editing software and stuff like that, that's really good. It's really user friendly, and it sucked me in, man. I bought a Mac for that reason, but that's all I use it for. I don't do any of my real business on that kind of thing. So if you use it for work, that's okay. If you use it for pleasure, see ya. See you later.
All right. Well, that's the hill you're willing to die on, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They're just terrible. Dude, I want to go to like my Finder or whatever they stupid call it over there, like my documents or whatever. It takes 10 minutes to load this stuff up. Good luck finding a file in there too. I save a file. I don't know how to get to it. It's not intuitive whatsoever. Can't take it. Can't take it. Can't take it.
No, listen. Oh God, unsubscribe. Yeah. I don't have a Mac. I have an Apple. I have an iPhone. That's the only thing I have, and even that I want to get rid of. But who even cares about that? No one's here to listen to us bitch about our our appliances this soon into it. Let's get into.
We'll get to that later.
We're here to talk about, which is
Episode 5.
Our technical difficulties. What caused us to
that too.
such a long delay. Yeah. Now we're finally here talking about episode 5, season 2 of House of the Dragon. Everyone's favorite episode. People already were coming into the chat saying, "Oh, I love this. This is peak Game of Thrones / House of the Dragon." Everyone loves this episode.
It sounds
right.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's
so.
the general sentiment. Yeah. Well, honestly, what did you think of it though? Overall thoughts.
Yeah, there doesn't need to be a lot happening, like action, explosions, dragons, sword fights, for me to be entertained in a TV show. Like one of my favorite TV shows recently is Succession, at least the earlier seasons episodes.
Here we go.
So I like just character interactions, a lot of conflict with one another, good dialogue. In this episode, I felt like there was just a missing spice in all of the bunch. I like the setup afterwards because there's a huge event. Like you got to have the kind of the what do you want to say, the calming, the come down from the high that it was up there. But I don't know, this episode not good. I think compared to I don't know, even just like episode 2 this last season. Episode 2 this last season was really good. This one just felt like a lot of dialogue with not a lot of development.
I think this episode was better than episode 3, though. I think this episode was better than 3. I don't think it was the worst one. I was kind of entertained. This had a lot of Harrenhal stuff, and I think it's pretty unanimous across the fandom that everybody likes seeing our boy Damon, just waddle around Harrenhal doing his stuff, a little spooky, running away from ghosts and everything else. It's pretty entertaining. I like seeing him tucked under the covers, just eyes wide open, doesn't know what he's going to find next. Maybe it's going to be his mom who's super good looking, or maybe it's going to be, some kind of disgusting weirwood tree from blasphemous old gods. What a piece of shit religion,
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna find. I'm kind of entertained by the Harrenhal stuff. There's some things I really liked in this episode. Overall, though, man, yeah, it was pretty boring. It definitely was worse than last week's episode. It's definitely worse than episode 2. Dude, that Cargill fight. And that's the clip I wanted to reuse, but for some reason, this little streaming apparatus we use won't let us upload anything.
Yeah, we're having difficulties uploading.
Angry.
I was trying to get my slides all figured out so that way we could actually, actually show stuff on the screen. We'll be able to do it still throughout this. It just took us a little bit. But before we get into more of this episode, because I have a lot to talk about when it comes to some dream sequences and some family love, because that's what family comes first here on our Hilts First. But before before you come, you got to make sure to hit that like button right now. Share this out to every person on your contacts list and drop your IP address in the chat. Let us know where you're at.
And your real address. Thank you very much.
And your real address. But we got a bunch of super chats. People coming in before the stream even started dropping super chats at us. Thank you all for being here. It means so much. But our boy, who probably loved this episode more than anybody in the world.
Lord Robin and House Frey both featured last night. I don't think Lord Robin was featured, but I mean, his place
ancestor.
Is, and maybe he's like Dr. Manhattan. He transcends time, so even though he isn't born yet, he's still present with us at the legendary Vale. By the way, that shot we get of the Vale in there, like that big landscape shot, looks great. Looks great. It's such a cool place.
It looks great.
Hillbillies living up there.
It looks great, but look at that. It's definitely different looking. The one on the left is the House of the Dragon, and the one on the right is the Game of Thrones version of it. So I don't know why it changed so much. I don't know if it changed for the better. I hope they change if they show us Casterly Rock, or Crasterly Rock, as we like to call it here. If they show us that, I hope that's more book accurate than the lame version we got in End of Game of Thrones. That was the worst. But thank you, Christian, and I'm sure you're going to be getting more super for Lord Robin. But thank you so much, A1, who for some reason doesn't have the ability to become a member for whatever reason,
or show up at the beginning of the streams. I don't know what's up with that. Maybe on Australian time, but we do appreciate this giant super chat. Thank you very much, A1. Wait for you to show up here at some point. I believe.
Do you want to read the super chat? Or
at this point, fine. I guess I learned to read, guys. I didn't want to show it off too much, but at this point, I too will gladly choose the fire. Gladly.
Yeah. A lot of people were coming in right away just saying how much they did not like this episode. It was boring, not good, but we'll get more into it. But real quick, we got some new members. Autumn just became a member, and Jay Pizzle, both became a member. We have our little emojis. We added a new one, the Stannis Chad one. Let's see if I can add it real quick into this.
Yeah, we got some good ones coming up too. I wish we could add more. It's crazy. It's such a weird thing to put a limit on.
No, we have a couple extra slots, so we'll do a poll later on which one's going to be the next one we add in. But we got Stannis the Manus, the Giga Chad. But
I wasn't scrolled down enough. A1 is here. Okay, good, A1. I'm glad. All right, Christian, are you willing to die for some chicken? Yeah, I can't wait to. We're done with the stream, man. I'm about to put away a whole rotisserie, man. It's gonna be good. We got the Vale and House Frey. What else? Yeah, I mean, what else do you need, right? Except I could lose personally. I could lose the Vale. If Robin's not in it, I don't care about the Vale.
And we're going to get more into each of these scenes because there's a lot to talk about with their character interactions, just their depictions in general. Chris Mace, $10. Hey, thank you so much.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Hope y'all are on a good tea retention grind. Yeah, you know what? I was on it a little bit, but I was feeling a little bit weak. And then I watched this episode and I saw the disgusting, villainous Alice Rivers trying to make Damon break his retention streak with his own mother. And that just got me fired up. Now I'm back on the grind, man. I had a moment of weakness, but no way. For my boy Damon, I got to stick on this thing.
Don't you just hate when you're on that good tea grind set retention and all of a sudden your mom slips in your dreams?
I can't stand that. It's over at that point. It's over. I'm out.
My Achilles heel. My mother.
Yeah. That's real tough when my mom shows up.
Christian again, two of the greatest houses of all time. I mean, you don't have to convince us. We love the phrase. Aaron's, they're okay. Sweet Robin really makes the house for me. But yeah, the phrase, love the phrase. Another two members joined, Gray Warden 99. Gray Warden 99 and Adrian Garcia. Is that how you say it? Adrian Garcia.
Yeah, Adrian Garcia. Yep, exactly.
I'm hyper dyslexic, so I might be reading things differently. And Mr. Victor 1227. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I call bullshit on dyslexia. You just nailed that number. Holy shit.
Lucky guess.
This one right here. Mason PA says week episode. Yeah, just brush over it. Week ep. So have you all seen the new book covers? No, I actually have not seen the new book covers.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah, no, maybe we'll talk about them.
I heard about them. Yeah.
I'll keep this start, so maybe we'll come back to the book covers later.
Yeah.
I like the new book covers. They look a lot better than the old ones. The old ones look really kind of, I don't know, dated. But we got some other super chats here. Thank you so
Yeah.
much, Brian.
Brian with a Y, because he's very, very unique, and his parents wanted us to know that. So thank you, Brian. 999. Sorry I couldn't be here to donate last episode, but I know y'all don't use D in your rankings. But honestly, this was a D episode besides Damon's hot ass mother. Dude, no joke. She could have been Alice's actress, to be honest. Yeah, I wish that she was. We're going to be seeing more of her on screen. I was going to say, man, that's Alyssa Targaryen. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Damon. Exactly. J Lord,
$20 super chat, dude, dropping it on us hot.
Yeah, dude, drop.
Like Damon's dropping.
It's like Tywin dropping him in that latrine. Look up the following post on A Song of Ice and Fire Reddit, addressing a misconception about how Stark largely created by the HBO show and not true in the books. We will do that later, man. Swear to God.
Yeah.
I swear to God. I swear to all 7 of them.
If you want to DM us on Twitter, we do. I think IJP's in the chat right now, our mod. He'll drop a link to our Twitter. You can DM us on there. We'll respond pretty quickly. I don't know. Dropping links on YouTube, they kind of prevent that from happening because,
because of a subscriber that we had named Nosferatu. He wrecked it for everybody because of the links he used to be dropping.
Yeah, dropping live gore links.
Constantly, man.
Yeah. No, but YouTube will block you a lot unless those links are actually. Oh, and Mike has bad news is in the chat too. Thank you for dropping that.
What's up, Mike?
I'll pin this.
Yeah, so DM us on Twitter, but make sure you open with a bussy picture because that's just kind of it breaks the ice for us. We get nervous otherwise.
It's the code word. You send a bussy, we send the bussy back. We know we're on the same frequency. All right, let's exchange. We got a couple more super chats, and then we're gonna get into this episode.
Yeah, Christian, make the Batman fly. Who's the bad man, Christian? Listen, it's too vague. Too vague. The Harem King.
At least point at the bad man. You're just saying to let him fly.
Just give us a direction. Just any northeast. Give me that. The Harem King said, "Give Aemon his credit." God damn it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, man, I agree.
Yeah, Aemon. I want to talk a lot more about Aemon this episode because a lot of people are giving him shit for like what reason. I don't want to go into it right now, but like, they're like, oh, you can't have Aemon to be king. It's like, why not? What has he done as leading? That's going to be all that bad.
We're going to talk about this, but I got to say right now, man, the little tiny glimpse into it we got in this episode where he's sitting at the small council table, not saying a word. He gets elected in, then he stands up and immediately starts spitting so much more strategy and wisdom than Aegon ever had. It's like, you really think that this one-eyed motherfucker shouldn't be king? Because he's making a good case for it right now.
Right. Yeah. And maybe we'll get into. Well, actually, there's a couple things I want to talk about first before we get into Aemon. But
Christian, another Christian chat.
Christian,
Damon's incompetence is getting old, right? Seriously, he's an idiot all of a sudden. Yeah, I do agree. We're going to talk about Daemon, but there are a lot of missteps happening with him, or just like bad interpretations of his development from what we got in the book. It's just like, yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I agree.
Dixon
Mayes, I think Dixon Mayes. Thoughts on the pacing of the season so far compared to season 1? Well, I mean, listen, they're not doing like 10-year time skips, so I guess that's kind of nice. But otherwise, it's I don't know. It's hard to say, man.
I like the speed. It just doesn't feel like a lot's happening at this speed. There could be better character development that I feel like is being. It just feels like a lot of spinning of the wheels. And then as soon as we're supposed to make a leap of faith that, they're supposed to be at this point where they make this decision, like Aemon betraying Aegon, it's not believable for me. Or even when Rhaenyra takes her how long to act, it's ridiculous. And it actually just pisses me off more so than I'm enjoying it. And yeah, we'll get into it here. Last super chat, actually, last super chat before we get into it.
The post explains that although not as wealthy as the Lannisters, the Starks in the novels are wealthier than the show. Yeah, right. I mean, all the great houses are decently well off in the real lore of the books.
Yeah, and then in what's called the TV show, they make Winterfell look so small, and it's mostly just because of the budget constraints. Winterfell is supposed to be huge. It's supposed to be huge. It's supposed to be great, and then this series, it just kind of looks like meh.
Yeah, make Winterfell great again. Nah, serious. Our gore boy. This show fucking sucks and ruined Dame, and he's all horny for his mom. And you think that ruined him?
Yeah, ruined him.
Confused.
All right, confused. You want to talk about first? Sorry, I have to give everyone has epilepsy in here a seizure scrolling through this. But I first want to start off with this scene of Meleys being, brought in through King's Landing. This scene is just so confusing on so many levels, and it kind of just sums up the incompetency of some of the writing in this series. Even though, let me just state, I'm largely enjoying this season. of House of the Dragon. I don't think it's as good as last season, but I am also have read the book now compared to last season. But this shot or this whole scene, they're bringing in the dragon from the Battle of Rook's Rest, right? And it's supposed to be like, oh, a dragon. Oh, they killed a dragon. There's this guy. Let's see if I can have the picture of him. Yeah, I do. This guy that's next to Hugh is just like, oh, thought they were gold. I thought they're invincible. I'm like, dude, are you retarded?
Oh yeah,
Dragons die all the time. The dragons died in the Conquest. A dragon died fighting Maegor. The Balerion died within probably his life.
That was like yesterday. Yeah, that just happened. This is like the biggest, most imposing, powerful seeming dragon ever. So yeah, dude.
Yeah. So I'm most confused by this and this whole scene in general because I have a picture of the writer saying like Meleys here. It's Ryan Condal. Oh, yeah. I mean, Meleys is a beloved dragon by who? The people that the small folks' families of those who died in the Dragon's Pit.
I was gonna say,
yeah. What was your thoughts on this scene here? And chat, let us know what you think because I'm gonna start pulling up some of your guys' comments here.
It's like Japan saying that, like, oh yeah, the little boy was a beloved bomb by the Japanese. Like, I don't think so. I don't really think that's how that works. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I liked in this whole sequence. I like we get to see a little bit more Hugh, and I like throughout this whole episode, by the way, that we get to see more Hugh. But this scene is just really weird. It should have, in my opinion, been a triumphant moment for Team Green. There shouldn't be any confusion yet. There's some stuff that happens later on in the story, in King's Landing, that starts to turn the small folk against, like, definitively against the Greens and the Blacks, I guess I should say, absent Corliss's blockade. And it just isn't supposed to be happening yet. And it's not happening yet. We're getting these weird foreshadows of it through this scene. And it's just very strange. It's almost like, we even hear it brought up later on that the small folk are just getting really worked up over this blockade because they're starving and everything. It's like, that is reason enough for them to be turning on them. We don't also need this thing where it's like, wait a minute, the dragons aren't invincible. Suddenly I don't feel safe at all being ruled by Team Green. And like, there's also this little hint of cruelty. Like, oh, the Greens are so cruel. They're willing to do this. It's like, what in the hell are you talking about? It's a war. Like, where do you live? What era do you live in?
Yeah, I would be more understanding if that guy was he came up to like the cart. He's next to Hugh and he's like, can we eat the dragon? Are we able to eat that? Because we're like starving here. That's a more realistic interaction, or at least phrase he'd probably say than, I thought they were gold. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? He's like,
saying
they're just meat. They're just meat, boy.
Dude, they are just meat, and I would love to eat it. There was this statue I saw one time. Man, there was a statue
here we go.
Of a big dragon head, and it was like, it had Scar, like Hulk's son, right? Like on top of it, like you just chopped the head off. And the statue rotated. It was on like a Lazy Susan or whatever. And the back of this thing was painted, like the decapitated skull. That meat in there looks so juicy and shiny and delicious. I've always wanted to eat a dragon's neck since then, dragon meat. If they were real in real life, that'd be the first thing I'd want to do. I don't want to fly that shit. I want to eat it.
Go ahead. Nosferatu said here, the wheel time is better than House of Dragon. Yeah, right, dude. Nice try.
Nice try, Nos. A1 says, why wouldn't the small folk be happy seeing Meleys dead as considering the mass death in the dragon pit? Yeah, exactly.
And that's, they just don't really address that fact ever, except for Damon makes one line about it and then they just completely drop it. Now, if you're a showrunner or a writer for season 2 and season 1 happened, it's really hard to try to justify, these scenes based off that and try to like write it in a way in which you could make these scenes make sense. So you just don't write them. I don't know why they insist on writing them if knowing in context of those other scenes that this comes off so badly. Even like, maybe we should, if House of Dragon got more views, like videos on House of Dragon, I would do a video about how you would have fixed Rhaenys from season 1 to season 2, or at least like one scene you could have made different in season 1 to make season 2's impact of her death even more impactful. But she's just such a badly written character, and they're trying to make her come off way more badass. And this moment here, like, oh, she was one of the fighters of like the small folks. No, she literally killed more small folk than Aegon has ever done, and Aegon is supposed to be this disgusting person. Yeah,
absolutely. This scene, it really didn't make any sense. It's not like the worst scene ever. But hey, by the way, speaking of what you just said, if House of the Dragon was more popular, this super chat from Jesse the Fool. Next, what if Braun lost trial by combat? See, we would make more House of the Dragon videos if we could. We would make a ton of what ifs based on these like lesser characters if we could, man. But spoiler alert, you're gonna be seeing like only A-list characters as the main subjects for our what ifs for the most part.
Except for
For a
when
while.
Craster, baby. Craster's
Oh,
going to
dude.
come out.
Well, that's an exception. 10K subs, Craster videos coming out. Doesn't matter. Doesn't
And
matter.
honestly, based off the trajectory we're going on right now, we should be there pretty soon. 10K.
True. True.
And thank you all. You guys are all part of it. Thank you so much for supporting us. Smash the like button right now. Right now.
Okay, shut up. Don't give him too much credit, guys. Come on.
I like this comment. He's from King's Landing. Of course.
Yeah, of course he's retarded. Yeah, of course he's retarded. Exactly, dude. This place is disgusting. This is like the second nastiest place of the Iron Islands. In fact, small folk wise, I don't even know who's worse.
Yeah, small folk object. Yeah, I mean, if you ever had sympathy for the small folk, just listen to them talk, and then you go, okay, never mind. Maybe we shouldn't care what happens to these guys. Really don't have a lot going on for them.
Well, that's why Eamon's pretty based in this episode. You know, he's like, well, the small folk don't like what I'm doing. Like they're rising up. Shut the gates. Shut the gates.
I like this comic because this goes back to our King V video we did.
Yeah, dude.
Balerion died.
Of cringe, baby. He did. He had to have. It's the only way. Nothing else could take him down.
Oh, this guy. Fuck. Yeah, I think I'm going down, boys. Time to go. Time to go. Yeah, and Lucerys got chopped in half. Yeah, and his dragon. Why do they think he's invincible?
That was just a couple weeks ago, for sure, in the show. Christian here, Super Chat. Is it time to bring Otto back? It is time to bring Otto back. I don't know who has that decision. Like, if Aemond has the ability to do that now, can you think of a reason why Aemond wouldn't want to bring Otto into the fold right now? Just besides, like, overconfidence, like, oh, I can do whatever I want.
Otto might have more control over, like, little, influences within the court that, Aemond might not want. But I think generally Aemond would be listening to Otto if he had advice on doing X, Y, or Z, right? He would be listening to it. But I think Aemon's pretty good with having this large influence on the court right now.
He is, but Otto. What I think though is just like Aemond he also has that confidence though, like with himself in the spot. Like, okay, let's say he got nominated or elected or whatever, like what just happened as Protector of the Realm, Prince Regent, whatever you want to say, King Regent. I think that even if Otto came back, I think he'd be able to use him for when he's needed. Like, Aemond isn't an idiot. I don't think he's going to just try to make decisions on things he's completely uninformed with, and he would have Otto there to help him out. But if Otto tries to step, over his place or whatever, I think Aemon's going to have no problem slapping his PP back down to where it belongs, Make that outie and innie for a while. I don't think he'd have a problem doing that. So,
no, yeah, I agree. We have another super chat here. Never knew Meleys could look so tasty. Except for all those flies around her, it looked kind of gross. But otherwise,
it left it out
tasty.
for too long. I would eat the shit out of Meleys, man. Any of the dragons.
Someone gets eaten out in this episode, and I'll give you a clue. It's not a dragon. Well, kind of a dragon, I guess, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, come on. Fire can't kill a dragon. Mike has bad knees. Just make another channel for House of the Dragon. Shut up, Mike.
Mike, you're going to get banned. And Craster for 10K. Good deal. Yeah, it's the best deal, guys. Never had a better deal. And also, Adrian Garcia super chatted $1 and didn't say anything, got the message retracted, but we'll just read off whatever comment you had next here. What if Viserys rode Balerion side saddle, final nail? Yeah.
Dude, I want to see like a little motorcycle with a sidecar for dragons. How pathetic is that? A little show for a dragon.
Oh, so cringe. So cringe.
So cringe.
Did we read this one out?
No. Jeez, man, Christian, you're overwhelming, man. Okay, you're overwhelming us. I feel like they're ruining many characters last night. Aemond is the only character who's interesting. I think his sister should get more TV time. Dude, yeah, Aemond was super interesting. And you talking about Helena, right? That little weird moment they had in the throne room. Listen, we'll talk about that more when we get to Helena and Aemond. But, dude, I fully agree with you. Christian's on fire, man.
Christian and Autumn for $5. Thank you so much. I don't think you read this one out, right?
No, I did not. I thought they were carrying Rhaenys's gigantic kingdom with a crystal skull ass head back on that card. Can you imagine? It's like after she's dead, the energies that kept it constrained, like to look more like a human head, wear off, and it's exposed to the oxygen like some kind of prehistoric bug, and it just blows up like a
yeah,
awesome cart sized.
Yeah. Otherwise, this scene it did its job of just showing like the massive weight of like, oh, we killed a dragon here because this head is huge. And my wife, when she saw it, she's like, I didn't realize it was so big. And I was like, shut the hell up.
Hasn't she been watching?
Hey,
Whatever, man.
I'm like, she's not even the biggest one. Vagar is even bigger than her. So, but I'm like, you know what? For our rest in peace. Well, it doesn't count because Maelys was kind of the last one. Maybe we'll put that one in because not a lot of people died this episode. Might do our rest in peace, rest in piss for Maelys later on. Is there anything else you want to say about this here? This moment walking through here?
No, not really. It's
King's
just very
Landing?
it's just disjointed. My main complaint is that I did not need to hear the small folk start to turn on Team Green. Like this shouldn't have been any sort of weakness from Team Green. That makes absolutely no sense.
No,
Absolutely no sense.
this is awesome. This is a show of strength. Like, listen,
Yes.
Rhaenyra try to usurp the throne. Here's one of the dragons. Sorry.
Yeah, in fact, by the way, Maelys is the second biggest active dragon right now. You know, like the ones that the people know about. I'm not sure how much
that are being
folk,
ridden currently. Yes,
or
yeah.
that's I mean, I'm not sure how much the common folk, if they didn't even know dragons could die, I'm not sure they're going to remember something like Vermithor, right? So I have no idea.
Yeah. And also it was kind of like steaming. Did you notice that the dragon head?
Was it
So
really?
it's like still hot. Yeah.
Wow. That's still why I don't know why there are flies then if it's still hot.
Oh yeah, Jesse says it
Inconsistent. Show
here.
sucks.
Still steaming. Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah, cooked very rare.
Yeah. So then after this, we get, Alicent reacting to, Aegon being burnt so badly. And do you like the change that they did not have Aegon? Let's see here.
The armor actually fused to him.
Yeah, Aegon's armor is not actually fused to him. In the books, if people don't know, his armor is fused onto him, and he has to like live with it on him. This they just are able to remove it, pretty easily. So yeah. I don't know what the change is for. What are your thoughts on it?
I hate it, honestly. I really hate it. The idea that someone's armor is like melted and fused with the body is like super epic, man. It could have been a really cool getup, but now it's just going to be kind of deformed and weird. I guess they're trying to maybe make the Viserys like parallel. He's going to end up like his dad with like a falling apart body and it's all woundy and nasty. But I would have loved to see the armor actually fused to him, man. We never got a visual representation of it in Fire and Blood, so I was hyped for that. And I thought they were going to do it in this too. Like as they were doing that little preliminary surgery on him, they were taking the armor and kind of shifting it a little bit, and he started to bleed. So I thought they were going to have to put it back on, and it was just going to be a weird looking kind of thing, like where he's always wearing his armor. And I don't really like that either. But yeah, it's strange. I wish they would have fused the armor to his body for sure. I assume you do too. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Dreamlore says, why is every man apparently unhinged toxic males and the women are supposedly the level-headed logical ones? How does that make sense? Men just want war and power, kind of BS. I mean, yeah, right. It's just lazy is all.
Yeah, but it doesn't. That's like the message the show's trying to push. But if you're watching it, you're getting, oh wow, the women's inability to act is causing way more deaths if they were to just follow the men who are willing to act right away. But yeah.
And when the women do act, they kill untold amount of people and then don't finish the job when they could have. Looking at you, Rhaenys.
This show has, I feel like, a lot more, like when Jaehaerys got killed, the biggest thing was the sound of the neck being cut off, right? In this, when he's getting his, armor removed, it's making such a weird, it was like ASMR. Do you notice that at all? I was like,
oh, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, okay, we don't need to have all the details. You can just have him going like, but instead we're just getting like all these sound, like ASMR metal
he's about
removal.
to pre in your little situation.
Well, that's wishful thinking on my part.
I feel like we're going to hear those sounds in the end anyway then. Cyan Duck says we got Aegon's nips and that scares me. Yeah, you know what? I was thinking about that too. This picture right here, man. His body does not look as... Kind of looks like he's got a little belly going on here. I know he doesn't in real life, but yeah, dude, zoom in on that nip. Let's see what... Is it brown or pink? Let's see. We need a nipple rating in the chat if you guys want to give one. 1 to 10. Looks a little dehydrated. Doesn't it look a little dehydrated? I think he needs a little lotion on that nipple. I don't know. That's just me.
Let me zoom back out then.
I don't lotion my nipples personally, but if I had to, I would.
I got nipples, Greg. Can you lotion me? Classic.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Classic.
Okay, so nipple ratings in the chat. Hold on, before we do the super chats here, we got an 8.75 out of 10 nipple rating from Cyan Duck. Asim says 3 out of 10. Cheddar, we got 4 out of 10. IJP says we got 2 out of 10. Come on, man. Unless that's 2 out of 5. I'm going to assume that's 2 out of 5. 2 out of 10 is a little low. 5 out of 10, we only got 1. Yeah, fair enough. Okay.
we have a comment here, this Thaddeus, that is talking about open Rose Road. The Rose Road is open. Yeah. I want to talk about that more logistics part of this. That makes no sense why this blockade is hindering them so much. It should be hindering them a little bit, but the idea that's like, we got no food. It's like, dude, is the Reach not supplying food? They don't have to blockade you as well. Just because they're not participating in the war doesn't mean they're not supplying you guys with.
Well, they heard there was a
some
blockade going
resources.
on. Like, oh, sorry, we didn't know there was a blockade. We'll get up right up.
Oh,
They
oh,
had
sorry. I
it.
guess we can't transport our stuff through the sea, even though we have direct routes to you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Anyways,
Exactly. Jesse the Fool says maybe the cock piece is still melted on. Yeah, maybe. You know what? I shouldn't be so judgmental. Maybe they did leave the cock piece on. It's the most important part anyway. Christian says they're trying to make Cole more likable, right? Are they? I don't know about that.
yeah, I don't know about that either, but I do like when Kristen Cole is alone and he's cleaning his blade, and me and you are not well versed in swords. We know enough about them that we know at least where the hilt is, right? But
Baby.
yeah, he's putting like lemon on it, and I'm like, oh, is it just gonna be lemon scented? Is that like a personal preference for it? Like, is he stabbing people to mask the smell of shit and blood as he's in combat?
Right. Yeah, dude, I like this scene a lot. I like to see a man taking care of his sword. If I had is this sword Valyrian steel? I don't think it is it?
No, it's not.
It's just,
No.
she says a regular sword. But
Right.
even if I just did have a regular sword, I tell you what, man, on the daily, pretty much, I'm considering buying a sword. And I'm always thinking about like, well, first of all, what I use it for. The answer is nothing. But if I did have one and I had to use it, what kind of sword would I want? I kind of feel like I want the handle, the hilt, to be kind of longer than normal and the blade to kind of be shorter than normal. You know what I mean? You really get some leverage on there. Like, I don't know.
Ideally, my hilt is bigger than my blade in a realistic.
Jesus, the hilt's
yeah.
bigger than the blade. God damn, man.
Yeah, it looks disgusting. I like the scene. I like the scene with Cole. Allison comes in, wondering what's going on. He's not giving her anything, and I love it. He's just like, "Oh, well, we're in combat, you know." Well,
So, yeah, we're just a bunch of boys out to war. I mean, Aegon was there.
What
Aemon
happened?
was there.
Aegon went down. Aemon is not.
I looked the other way. I don't know.
I like this scene. It's kind of Kristen Cole having conflict with himself of where he wants to make his next step forward. And I've heard some people talk about that Kristen Cole's trying to block her from, getting too much into these details now. But I don't know. I think maybe is he still simping for Alicent, not giving her information here?
No, dude.
Keeping her away from it? Or is he kind of just over it?
This is where Christian might be on the right path here, because I did get hints, and it's going to take more episodes to confirm it. But the hopefulness in me says that maybe Kristen's having some serious like post-nut clarity going on here. And I don't know why he didn't get it right away, but maybe it's just like suddenly he's having the accumulation of every session that they've had, and now it's like this ultimate clarity, and he's like, what the fuck did I do? And so he's got to give her nothing now, and he's going to kind of be a, boy's boy. I think that might be what it is. Not to mention, I mean, he threw his hat in for Aemond. Aemond is now his king. I really don't think he's going to go behind his back unless Aemond starts doing some super messed up stuff.
Right. Yeah. And I don't see why it's all that big a deal that he's backing him. I know it's a big deal for Alicent because she's like, I've been giving you my cake on a plate for so long. The only time you have my back is when you're in bed with me. Come on.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I like Aemond making is kind of like he's actively pursuing power, but in this scene he's not actively being what do I want to say, proactive, making it known that I want it. I should be Lord Commander. Everyone else says no. I think it's Aemond should be it. Aemond doesn't say a single word until after everyone's like, yeah, Aemond should be heir, or
I
at
love
least
it
protect the realm. And then he takes it, and then he just runs with the ball. I like that. And he doesn't seem to be like Daemon in this situation would not have the patience that Aemond does in this.
Right. Yeah. They're very, very different in that way. I mean, I guess maybe not. Like Daemon's such a wild card. I think sometimes maybe he could be like that. And I also like a lot in this scene too, Alicent as well, when she's trying to like, say her piece and get her reason in, and every single person is just ignoring her and talking past her, and she's just sitting there, and this like the world's closing in, and you're just hearing Aemon strategize, dude, like a Chad, by the way. This is the best strategy we've heard all season, like spoken, and she's just having the world close in around her. I thought that was really good. I thought this whole scene was actually done very well. So I think it's good, and I like that Aemond is reserved in this way when he needs to be. He definitely knows how to read the room better than a lot of characters do.
Yeah, and he knows when to speak, which is a great tool because there'll be times where, of course, Aegon puts his foot in his mouth and looks stupider in the council room. Like, what's the phrase that it's better to keep your mouth shut and let everyone think you're a fool than to open it and confirm everyone's thoughts that you're an idiot or something like that. I'm messing up the exact quotation of it, but at least Aemond is giving everyone the perception that, yeah, he's not an idiot, to say the least. But then when he does open his mouth, it's well thought out. It's articulated well. It makes sense. And I just hate, where are you? I think it's at the beginning. I had it. Sorry.
This is
Giving
part of the
people
technical
epilepsy.
difficulties.
Giving everyone epilepsy in the chat right now. But this scene where Alicent gets picked over Aemond, this is ridiculous. Her freaking out. Why is everyone freaking out about Aemond potentially being king or ruling? What has he done to show you that he is more dangerous for the small folk
Then Aegon, right?
Than Aegon, than Rhaenyra, than Daemon? Like, if you want to look at the alternate situations, Aemon looks pretty good.
Absolutely, he does. And like A1 says here too, how does Alicent expect the small council who started a civil war to avoid a female ruler to choose her instead of Aemon? Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Like the huge component of this war is male versus female, and she's on the male side. Like even if it's not direct and it's not how she feels, by staying steadfast with Team Green here, she's basically saying like I'm on camp. Women can't be in charge. By the way, I'm in charge now. Like, no, that's not going to happen. No way. Aemon's got to be the one who's in charge. She's got to sit her ass out as the Dowager Queen. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. I'm going to read some super chats here quick before we move on. If you have, I don't want to get too lost in them. So Retro Mage, $5 says Alicent saw her son on his deathbed, and her first instinct was to go get that Kristen pole. Exactly. her reaction to that, I don't know if it was the acting or just the way it was directed, but I did think that her reaction was not as nearly as strong as it should be. Like I didn't think that she was to that point yet where she like given up hope totally on Aegon. I really didn't think so. Not yet. Like
it's also, she has a very Robb Stark reaction to like death and misery around her. She's like, oh, all these bad things are happening. Time to get laid.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Clean up. Christian says, I think seeing the dragons kill a soldiers really messed him up. I think he's regretting some of his actions.
I
don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so? Yeah,
hell no.
No, I like that interaction he has with Alicent where it's just like, dude, do you realize what I just saw? Like, it was horrific. It's worse than any war because he has combat experience. Just to see like these dragons on the field, and he's like, dude, we might as well just let the most willing man to go down the path of death and destruction at the helm here versus letting these women who are just like, what if we can try to somehow negotiate and sneak into little seps and have conversations at knife point and, lie to each other to see if we can come to an understanding. It's like, dude, this is why women shouldn't be in charge.
Get out on town. Yeah, get in the town square and get your fisticuffs out. Like, we're going to settle this how it should be settled in front of the gods and men, right? That's how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Real quick, one more super chat. Grey Warden says she's freaking out over how competent he is. I mean, dude, honestly, yeah, and I understand that she is scared of his like wild card nature because he killed Luke or whatever. Like that's the whole premise of why she's so scared of him. But it's really not that extreme. It's really, really not that extreme. Both these kids are in one place. Your son had his eye cut out by this other kid. So isn't it reasonable to think that level of aggression would be reserved for that person? And you don't even know who started the confrontation either. Like there's no one was there. You don't know. So it is ridiculous. She is scared of how competent he is, man.
Yeah, no. And I just don't like the heavy focus on Alicent in this whole series. She should be a big character. Don't get me wrong, but it feels like we're getting way more of her development than other characters who I care more about, and I think will have a bigger impact overall than than Alicent. Alicent, well, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I just definitely wish we had more time.
Yeah. Well, I do too. And see, this is, what would be awesome, man? We talk about it a lot. I'll read the super chat in a minute, and we talk about this a lot. But in the book, man, Alicent and Rhaenyra are nasty, nasty bitches. Like they're just cruel and unusual. One of them is fat as fuck. Like, man, and Alicent's
In a
not.
powerful way.
Yeah, in a powerful way. And Alicent is lean and mean, and she is like a dime, right? But I'm wondering if this show, see these two characters on screen right now, this would be great. If somehow, if these writers want to flex and really impress me, if we get a Kristen Cole redemption arc that actually works, and I end up thinking like, wow, they did a good job redeeming him in the show, and I legitimately like him and forgive him for all of his simp Coomer behavior. And then Alicent, if we get development from her to turn her into like a nasty, ruthless, like dowager woman, oh, how cool would that be, man? Because
Yeah.
right now she's anything but. But what if this? And this is a pipe dream, I know. But what if all this development is like leading her to be the opposite? Like she just finally snaps and goes crazy and is like, "Yep, I want to bathe in Rhaenyra's blood." Like it goes all in.
And that's what's funny too is people will say, "Oh, don't you know Fire and Blood is just propaganda for the Greens?" And then you read in Fire and Blood about Alicent. I think it's either blood or cheese. She's like, "I want to bathe in their blood," and I don't think that's coming from Mushroom. Even if it is, still like having so much influence of whatever's happening in Mushroom's voice, it's basically anti-green or pro-black propaganda within Fire and Blood, the history book there. So yeah, Alicent is a nasty bitch. I love them both being nasty. I love them both just like claws out, going at each other's throats.
I know, I love it.
For whatever reason, they just want to have them be like, "Oh, won't be hesitant," and "Oh, I'm going to wait until something happens." Something else someone brought up. So I was listening to somebody talk about this. They said about the humor in the show is not really there, and I totally agree. It's not nearly as there's not enough like laughs as there is in Game of Thrones. There's some actually funny, and I don't need slapstick James or Kevin James moments, even though I would love some Paul Blart, Hand of the King, Kirsten Cole as Kevin James with his little segue going through Rook's Arrest. I want that movie. Now I want it. You know what? I say I don't want it, then I just talk myself into it. But
well, dude, look at Game of Thrones, man. We had that guy who played Robert Baratheon, the dude from Still Standing. There's a place in this universe for fat sitcom dads, man. There's a place for it, and I'm all in.
I don't need like just all the time slapstick, but I need some like levity to it. And I think we are getting it sometimes with Simon Strong, with Damon. That interaction's sometimes funny, just like ha 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 ha. Something's these guys are I'm having fun watching this a little bit. I don't need slapstick, but there needs to be a little bit more to it.
I don't need slapstick either. Real quick, I'm gonna read the super chat that's been up for a while. Some ordinary gooner says, "You guys are like the base version of Nerd Soup. I like them, but they can be pretty gay a lot of the time. Keep up the cool content." Hey, appreciate it, man. But listen, if you think that they're gay, I don't know. You haven't, yeah. I don't know. I don't know how long you've been here, but
I don't know if he was referring to us about the gay thing because we're gonna go into it with Damon, and it's not really gay what's happening there, but I think we're more about it. Did you read this one from Grey Warden?
Yeah, I did. Yep, I read
okay,
it.
Cool. I was gonna unstart it backstage here, make sure we clean it up, and then Christian, our boy, dropping it on us here.
Can Aemond bring that old? We can't say that word. Yes, we can. Can Aemond bring that old whore to court, or does he follow the Tywin policy? Good question.
Ooh.
I think we'll have to find out. We'll find out when the time comes.
I hope Aemond gets away from that. I think it's kind of cringe that he keeps her that way. At least if you're going to do that, that's kind of on Aemond asking for people to call him out. If he's literally just what's it called, a pull the cloth away from being fully exposed. Like, dude, get up more private quarters with this girl. You're the prince of Westeros.
Yeah, but
have
like
private quarters.
It doesn't really seem like it's supposed to be a secret, right?
Yeah,
like, I don't know. I feel like everybody probably knows about it. And honestly, as much as I'm not a supporter of what he's doing, it is kind of more of a flex on him too. If he's able to, and we haven't seen it yet really, but if he's going to be able to command respect and be seen as this ultimate authority figure by the common folk and everything, and they all know what's going on with him, like curling up into a little fetal ball, literally a thigh gap as wide as the narrow sea, and he's still able to command this respect. That's a pretty big flex on like how alpha he really is. I can't wait to see it. And by the way, Jay Pizzle is completely correct here. 252 viewers, only 43 likes. Someone do the math for me in the comments on how that makes sense.
Hit the like
button. And we'll super chat you.
Yeah, we'll super chat you. We'll give you the login.
Make it make sense.
Yeah, we'll give you the login to our account here. Make sense of it for us, please and thank you. But is there anything else you want to say about Alicent, Cole, Aemond here? I guess real quick, Aemond gets this talk with Helena. She's like, "Was it all worth it?" It's like, I mean, I don't know. Like, what did I really sacrifice? My retarded brother, you know? Like, in Aemon's one eye, how does he see this whole situation?
Yeah, if I was Aemond in this situation, I'd be screaming inside because I'm like, I wish that I could hurt my sister so bad, but she is special needs, so I can't touch her. She's above even my ability to hurt. Because what is she even talking about? Like, was it all worth it? Was what all worth it? How much do you know? Were you there? Like, she wasn't at the small council meeting. She didn't greet Aegon. I have no idea what she's talking about here.
Oh, here we go. For the future full-time YouTuber fund, thanks for the content. Thank you.
Dude, I wish.
It Abyssal Bunny?
Abyssal. I think it's Abyssal. Abyssal Bunny. Dude, thank you. Yes. I can't.
Thank you.
Make it happen, man.
Make it happen. Make me just a full-time YouTuber so you can eventually see the arc of me and you becoming big, famous, then becoming lol cows and everyone making fun of us, and then eventually one of us self-deletes.
Everybody digging into our past and finding out some like sick sexual thing that for some reason all YouTubers have.
My sissy hypno stuff coming up. Damn, what's gonna happen?
Yeah, exactly.
No. All right. So
wait, hold on. One more here. What in the world is going on here? Hold on. Why can't I click this? No, I can't click for some reason.
I got it.
Okay, you got it. Yep. Sword's so long he can't even unsheath it. Sad. So sad.
Well, not me. My sword comes right out of his sheath all the time. Okay, not long at all.
I don't want it to. That hilt's heavier than the blade, so it just clanks on the ground.
Yeah. All right. So let's go to this next part here. Well, so Aemon's next rule as king goes, he's like, hey, listen, lock it down. Under lockdown. He puts King's Landing under lockdown. And we immediately see Hugh Hammer, which I like seeing, at least if we're going to get this point of view in King's Landing, it's for character development of a character, spoiler, we're going to be seeing more of. So I like this little depiction and a diversion from Fire and Blood because we're trying to give more of a on-the-ground feeling while developing a character. I don't mind this at all. Maybe Hugh might be the wrong person to pick, but I still like this choice of giving us the on-the-ground small folk angle.
Yeah, absolutely. And I like this too. You know, we did not get basically any look into the private lives of Hugh Hammer or Ulf the White, who we saw in that bar an episode or two ago. And this is giving that to us. And this is the kind of stuff I actually do want to see some expansion on these characters. And if they stay true to who Hugh is in the book, you know, by the end, like if he develops into that character, I think I'm actually going to like it quite a bit. I think that adds to his character if he becomes that, you know, instead of just appearing as that. It's one of the few instances where I think like the literally retcon, right? Retroactive continuity in the situation could benefit.
Well, don't you also feel that with Alicent and Rhaenyra? Because like what you said in the books, they're bad bitches. If eventually they get to that point, but first they start off as like, I guess that's what we were hoping for in season 1 of House of Dragon is, oh, we are so lovey and kind of friends. Then we turn on each other. We don't like each other. Now we want to go at each other's throats and we want each other dead. That's, I think, the angle or at least the trajectory we wanted to happen. But as of right now, not so much. It's kind of just like it's reverting and it's kind of spinning its wheels. And I feel like that's the reason why in season 2 of House of Dragon, it feels like we're not really getting anywhere because these characters aren't really going anywhere.
It's true. It's possible if they do eventually develop into it. It's better than what we have now, but that's not an improvement on the book. It's way better if, and I think more realistic, if both Alicent and Rhaenyra just already start this way because they're raised in this insane cutthroat world where everybody's constantly strategized. I mean, Alicent was given herky-jerky happy endings to King Jaehaerys, you know, the old king, probably
allegedly
at the behest of Otto. Come on. At the behest of Otto since like age 13 or something like that. So it's like,
what a fail! Well, hold on. What a failure by Alicent that she's potentially giving him herky jerkies, and then he goes, "Oh, is that my daughter?" Oh, he's like, "No, stop! I have more questions. Why do you think I'm your daughter? Why do you think I'm your daughter if I'm doing this?" King Jaehaerys.
Why not? Come
Check
on.
the manifest logs for King Jaehaerys. My guy.
Here we got another one from some
Oh, you
ordinary
got it.
gooner. Oh, okay,
Oh
why
my
don't we both
goodness.
click it a few more times? Me and my wife feel like this season is boring as hell. If they're going to make us wait 2 years, they need to do better. I could look the other way if it were a yearly event. Damon Snooze Fest. Yeah, hopefully the next season does come out next year. I will be upset if they wait another extra year. But I mean, I feel like the writer's strike had a lot to do with the one delay
Yes.
that we had. So hopefully it won't be the case. Damon Snooze Fest. I'm actually probably the most interested in what's happening with Damon. Maybe you know what? Maybe that changes this episode. When we talk about it, maybe I'll have a different
Yeah.
opinion. But I mean, generally, yeah, the season is boring.
I think Damon stuff is the most memorable from this episode. And, you know, in Game of Thrones or in any TV series, you go through the episodes of a season and there should be a couple scenes that stand out and you want to maybe rewatch, or if it's like, oh yeah, that'd be the highlight of that episode. I don't know what, excuse me. I don't know what from the last couple episodes, like episode 3 and now episode 5, which scene besides like the Damon, I guess, scene with his mom, what really stands out to you on this, right? Because I don't know, like when I rewatch a season, this is going to be an episode I either fast forward or just completely skip, because like, what do you really get from this?
You get nothing. Yeah, wow. I didn't think about that. This,
You know,
even in season 1, well, season 1 was so breakneck, I guess you couldn't skip anything really, because like big events happen in every episode, you know, reasoning for characters to do things in the following episode. But in this, nothing happened here unless nothing happened, because even like this Hugh Hammer here, right? Hugh, nothing happens to him in this episode, and this could have been the episode for him to acquire some motivation for later events, but it didn't. This just looks like the precursor to the eventual event that'll lead to more events, right? So yeah,
Right.
this is a totally useless episode. I didn't even notice that.
Well, I mean, like maybe the Damon stuff with his mom, right? That might be the most memorable. But
it's memorable, but it's not useful.
yeah, but there's not even a scene in here where you go, "Oh wow, look at this awesome interaction between these characters." It's like, you know, remember when Ned faces off with Jamie as he's going to the small council meeting, and they have those exchanging of words where he's like,
Of course, I remember
"Nice
that shit.
armor." He's like, "Yeah, they always seem to miss. I pick my enemies pretty well." You know, that scene right there is just so great. Just one liner. Nothing in here is like that. Every scene that we have with these characters, I'm kind of like, all right. I don't know. Just it feels kind of empty. It doesn't feel like I'm getting great dialogue, or at least moving the plot forward in a meaningful way, at least, right, or an exciting way.
Oh yeah, one or the other. Well, that's the thing. Like way at the beginning of this, we talked about the pacing a little bit, and it's like, you know, what is the battle that they just totally skipped over in this episode? It was Damon. It was taking.
Oh yeah,
where
the
the brackets from?
Stonehenge.
Where the bracket? Stonehenge. That's it. So they just totally skipped that over. And I'm okay with skipping battles. I really am. But it was like just a throwaway, basically a line of what happened. And instead of getting more development on a really big event in a war, we're just watching Rhaenyra and Allison like be super passive aggressive about how they don't want to be in a war. You know, like that's just so
Yeah,
lame. And so it's expanding on things that didn't exist in the book. Uh, in order to, you know, suppress things that actually are in the book. That it's just these time
but
constraints that they're trying to work around are so annoying. The
well,
way they're doing it.
where's the tension, or at least new tension, that we're getting interactions with when it comes to, especially in Rhaenyra, Team Black side? There seems to be like little to no tension, you know, on their interactions. While Team Green is constantly like every angle there's conflict with characters. Team Green is the way more complex, more interesting team to watch. Team Black, where's the conflict between Rhaenyra? It's like Rhaenyra and her council, and what's the interaction again? Rhaenyra doesn't want to act. They want to act. Episode 2, the same thing. Episode 3, actually, episode 1, she says one name. Damon overreacts, and now she doesn't want to act at all, right? It's like once bitten, twice shy, you know?
Well, right. No, exactly. And, you know, but there's a little aspect of it I like. So I do like a little bit the difference between Allison's relationship with her kids versus Rhaenyra's relationship with her kids. Like, I'm okay with that much. My wife said this too. It's interesting to see Allison have such a distant, you know, not really understanding relationship with Aemond and Aegon, and they're kind of shitsters or whatever. And then you have Rhaenyra having this really great relationship with Jace. Like, basically, they're able to talk to each other like human beings. They both listen to each other and understand. And the only really downside personally that I have to that is because that's just not the way Rhaenyra really is in the books. She's not like this understanding, listening person, willing to take advice from everybody. That's not what she is. But in a vacuum, I think that's actually a good thing. But like you just said, man, when there's no tension at all in the whole council, like there was going to be, I feel like with Alfred, whatever his name is, can't remember his name.
Broom.
Alfred Broom. Yep. But they kind of squashed that beef in this episode, and they like both kind of like, oh well, I guess I understand your point of view. I guess I understand your point of view too. So yeah, it's crazy. We lost Don Boy. Well, I don't want to continue the conversation without him, so I guess I'll read some chats here. We got a super from Christian. Yeah, dude. Aemon shutting down Aegon at the small council meeting with High Valyrian was strong. I kind of like that, but at the same time, it's like I don't like making Aegon seem totally incompetent. It does a good job of bolstering up Aemon, but I don't necessarily need to see Aegon just, somebody they see his face get shit on, and then all the neighborhood kids come over with their bare feet and mash their toes in it. I don't need to see that every time. Aemon can look
I'll
good
watch a preview of it. I don't know if I'm going to pay-per-view it right now. Like
you can get the trailer going.
Yeah, just start a little preview. I'll see if I'm into it here later on. So who do you want to talk about next here, character-wise? You want to go into the Daemon thing, or do you want to talk about Rhaenyra and her stuff? Rhaenyra, Jace, and Corlys angle at all? Which one do you want to go next?
Let's go Daemon, man. Let's go Daemon.
Go Daemon. Just get into the meat of it here.
Yeah, we've been edging it for a while.
Because I think it's the first scene we see Daemon in, and he's talking to this mysterious individual. We don't know who this person is. Let's see this.
I need to see a picture of Daemon, or I can't talk about him. My brain needs that visual connection.
Who's this? We see right away.
Whoa.
And we're like, okay, Daemon has a type, and this is definitely it. And then you learn mid-dream that Daemon's, we've never seen his mother, right? She just says, I'm your mom, right? Or what does she say in the scene? Do you remember exactly?
Like, my favorite son. She's like, my favorite son. And
that could just be pillow talk. Come on. We don't know if this is actually his mom.
Dude, I thought this was going to be a recasted Emma from the first season, because it seems like that way. Like he wants to be king, blah, blah. He wants the power. It makes sense, right? That he'd be like plug in the king's wife. So that's where I thought they were going with this. But then it's his mom. Like, so wait, why is he having sex with his mom again? What's this? What is this like? What's this supposed to be signifying? What's the hidden message here?
Yeah. No, I don't know what the hidden message.
He wishes that he could have sex with his mom and then impregnate his mom with himself. Like, what is it?
He wants approval from some person. Mommy issues again. Another mommy issues. Raphael, like a $50 I don't know, MX. I think it's a lower. It's not $50. It's something green. Know. So we know it's not worth that much. But if you make your comment, Raphael, we'll read it out.
We'll read it out, man. Maybe it's worth more than US dollars. You ever think of that? It's so high that there was no more colors left, so it just cycled back around to green.
Cycled back. But I don't know. This is kind of a cringe thing they always do. With like, I need mommy's approval. Just like with Aemond. It's like, why is everything mommy issues? Can someone have some sort of like inner conflict and be kind of pent up anger without having to revert back to mommy dearest? It's just cringe at this point.
Well, it depends on what it's for. If we get some elaboration on this, that would be kind of nice. As much as I don't want to see more mommy stuff, I don't need to. But if we get some explanation, because honestly, I just don't understand. Yeah, Dill said, Dildo. Son, I got stuck in the dragon pit. Help me, son. Yeah, why? Also, was he her favorite son? Or is this like the thing he always wanted to hear and he never could? And only because he fucked his mom adequately enough was she able to finally tell it to him? I don't know. I can tell you this right now. I'd be so pissed at Alice Rivers right now. She'd be dead. Because if I'm Daemon, I know she's doing all this stuff. I know she's making me fuck my mom in my dreams. I know it. I know that's the reason.
Or at least making me think I'm doing it.
Oh, yeah. Right. Exactly. I know she's giving me weird potions to where I keep waking up in the middle of meals and meetings and stuff like that. I love that scene, by the way, where he just kind of comes to and like he's having food past him and he's like mid passing it between people. Yeah. It's just like, oh, shit.
I like the editing of most of these scenes of Daemon tripping out and he's just like waking up mid like you said, like mid dinner. It's really weird. And I like the right as he's like which another thing, why are we showing these guys going down on women? Like this is definitely a woman's choice here of like, can we just show the guy eating her out? And there's like a little blood, so we don't know what's exactly going on there in that scene. But I do like that as soon as he kind of realizes his mom, Simon Strong goes, "How's the duck?" That's what I'm gonna say to my wife next time. After I climax, I'm gonna go, "How's the duck?"
Wait, is that before or after you cry for a while though?
Actually, right before I pre, and it's while I'm crying. So I'm, "How's the duck?"
And then when you finish, that calms you down, right? Straight
Yeah.
face after that. Okay.
Potion of clarity,
It's
completely
such an
fine. Snap out of
such
it.
an emotional experience. Dude, see, I don't understand why Damon puts up with Alice. And it seems like, by the way, that Alice is kind of being seductive in this episode too. Like she gets so close to him when they're talking. I don't remember where they're sitting. It's after Damon. Oh, by the way, Damon doing manual labor. He's contributing to manual labor,
Oh,
cleaning up
great.
this place alongside his people.
Yeah.
That is based as fuck. He's not even wearing armor. He's just one of the dudes.
One of the fellas getting his hands dirty. And he also says it's like no one's ever going to say that Daemon Targaryen didn't get his hands dirty while trying to get the throne, which I don't think anyone's ever going to accuse Daemon of not getting his hands dirty, getting in the thick of it to try to get his crown. Which
Dude,
honestly, after this episode, so I'm if anyone doesn't know here, right in the chat, if you guys want to become a member, you can also do this as well. But I'll do a little bit of Team Green banners here. We're Team Green on here.
Absolutely.
On our realtor. But I will say Damon's a close second now for me. I kind of want a Daemon. Team Daemon is kind of just he's on his own kind of.
No, I wrote this down. I wrote this little note. I was like, Damon's position is sort of based like this idea of like, yeah, listen, Rhaenyra can come with me and we can rule together as like a king and queen, like a power couple kind of thing. But if she doesn't want to support my claim, the one who actually did the work to get us here, like too fucking bad. You know, I think that's a great position. Oh yeah, it's great. And I know that he seems kind of petty for like, you know, he was the original heir and then the situation changed because the king is allowed to name their heir, monarchy rule bullshit, whatever. I feel for him in the situation. He's on his grind, his multiple grinds. I like it a lot, actually. So I like that he's working with his people. Yeah, it's great. It's cool to see.
Yeah, this whole scene with his mom is cringe. I also like his like, what the hell? At least as soon as he figured it out, it's not like he sat there and was like, it wasn't that bad. I'm past the whole kind of disgust thing. I think I'm over it. But the whole Alice Rivers things, yeah, I'm going to execute her no matter what. Even if she's not up to like no good, she's not doing anything. She's just annoying. Just so annoying. Just shut up. I'm trying to work here. And you got to come up here and give me a lecture. Like, yeah, stop. Yeah, her Scottish accent's throwing me off. We got a couple super chats here I want to address.
Okay, sure. Yeah, first, Chris Mace. First stream I've caught. Got to head out, though. Have a good one, fellas. I'll watch tomorrow. Yeah, you better. Swear to God. You're blocked if you don't watch.
Chris Mace. We know if you watched, you idiot.
I'm so mad at Chris Mace right now.
Did you read this one from Christian? I know he's...
Oh, no, I didn't. I missed it.
He doesn't super chat enough, so I want to make sure he gets everything right.
Yeah, we're about to read Christian's first super chat here. Thanks, Christian, for your first one. I thought Jace had a strong episode. Yeah, listen, I did too, man. Jace was super charismatic in this episode. I'm not a big fan of the dynamic between the two, given everything else, but he's great. I thought he was really good in this episode too. Let's read. Oh, you got one up already? Okay. Yep. Marina Wilson said, what's the likelihood that if Rhaena replaces she'll be both daughter and lover of Daemon? Add daughter to the list of acts of incest. Listen, unfortunately, we can't go into spoilers right this moment.
We'll keep it pinned and we'll put a spoiler section up and we'll talk more about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it at the end.
Yeah. I'm trying to clean up the stuff backstage here, make sure we're not too many things are tagged here.
Yeah, you got to.
Oh, here we go.
Out of the background.
$10 super chat. Thank you so much.
Nobody with taste buds is eating medieval cooch. Yeah, probably not. But you never know. Maybe they had some kind of freaky, cleaning method that's superior to what we have now. Who knows? Magic, man. Alice Rivers, especially. You know what? I think Alice Rivers could probably do it if anybody wants to do it. And I bet she did it to herself too. She, like I was trying to say earlier too, I forgot. Didn't it kind of seem like she was kind of trying to put the moves on Daemon a little bit when they were talking? She was getting so close to him.
Yeah, dude, chill.
He didn't reciprocate it. It's like she's trying to end his retention streak, and she's never going to get it. At most, maybe she'll get like a reluctant edging session, but, because she worked him up with his mom and everything like that. Maybe he just wants a little edge going on, but he's never going to spill his seed. No way. Ain't going to happen.
No, he's not. Okay, poll request here. Most handsome
House the Dragon.
Yeah.
My vote, Alice Rivers.
All right. Who else is on this?
She has a strong jaw.
Daemon.
Put Aemond on there, man. Another jaw.
Aemon. Any other
Who else
ones?
we got? Yeah, we need a fourth. We need a fourth. Simon
Um,
Strong. I don't know.
Simon. Yeah, Simon.
Yeah, put
Why
Simon
not?
on there.
All right, starting the poll. Go ahead, vote. Who's the most handsome? And Alice better win, you idiots. Otherwise, we're ending the stream early.
Yep, deleting the
Um,
channel.
Adrian Garcia.
Alice Rivers' chin versus Dark Sister. Who wins?
Well, I think Dark Sister breaks before Alice's chin.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I think Eamon's chin does take the cake if that's a kind of thing. If it's the quarterfinals and then Eamon's already made it to the finals, I think in the last round Eamon's chin still takes it. But Alice Rivers' chin is a close second, no doubt.
And so basically, with 199,
Chat, did I make the live? You tell us, bitch.
Yeah, what do you think? Take a wild guess. And Christian, first super chat by Christian here.
Okay, yep, this is for our first super chat by Christian. Says, why do you all think Alice Rivers is real? I guess she, you know what? We've never seen anybody else interact with her. Yeah, she could be a figment of his imagination. If that's the case, let's just say if that's the case, I hope she appears to more than one person, right?
Yeah, I agree. I hope that there's multiple interactions, not just a Damon.
I hope it's not in Damon's mind. I hope it's like a thing of Harrenhal. It's not in Damon's mind.
Also, Damon, it's so funny because, like, I think we said this on another live stream, that Damon in the books is not affected by Alice Rivers at all. It's made clear in the books, like, yeah, didn't have an effect. Clearly, he's having an effect, which I guess if the books are going to be accurate, Damon would just be doing his own thing and no one ever saw him interact with her. Maybe that makes more sense then. It's book accurate, right? So
yeah, I mean,
we don't see anybody interact with her.
Book-wise, there's a ton of differences here. Like, generally speaking, in the book, Damon comes to Harrenhal and he just cleans up shop. He goes and beats the Brackens and he just assembles a host in the book.
Right.
Like here, he works to assemble a host for Rhaenyra, and it's never for himself. He never has this little thing where he's like, I secretly want to be king. He just more so has like I'm going to prove myself on the battlefield. I'm angsty, kind of like a Robert Baratheon almost, but a little more emo, right? Like he just wants war at this point. That's kind of what he is. One more super chat here from Brez Boy. Would be cool if Alice wasn't real, and if Aemond eventually sees her, she's a recast MILF to appeal to him. Would make the Fire and Blood Age thing make sense.
Thank you. That's my dream.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if it has to be recast too. They could just put some nasty prosthetics on her, but it'd be pretty cool.
Like a Brazilian butt lift. Like looks like Kim Kardashian walking in there. You're like, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting my mom's cake to shame here with Alice Rivers.
Yeah, Damon's like, I should have taken advantage of that.
I like the interaction with Damon trying to get the Brackens involved here with this conflict. This is like the most political, or well, not political, but like strategic kind of move we see here. It's interesting because even though Jace is talking with the phrase, it's just a quick conversation. It's not that interesting. This is more entertaining to watch, and Matt Smith as Damon is such a more compelling performance in almost every way. I love this. I love what as soon as he's talking shit, and then we think he's gonna kill this Bracken guy. And look at this guy's face. He thinks he's so
I know. You can't command me, a filthy Targaryen bastard.
I love this. Yeah, the Bracken's rules. But what'd you think of this?
Choose the fire. I love this scene, and I love Damon looks so fucking cool in this scene too. That armor is just amazing. He should be screaming, by the way, for them in order for them to be able to hear him, and they're just kind of talking quietly. So that's kind of weird, but this is a great scene. I love all the aftermath of it too, except I don't know if you want to talk about it right this second. The Blackwoods cringe reaction to Damon doing good work. Later on, you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Yeah, well, the Blackwoods were just like Damon's like, hey, I'm gonna need you to do something. He basically talks to is it Samwell? Is that his name, or is it William? I'm trying to remember which one it is.
I don't remember. Yeah,
he's talking to, but Simon, it's the one that was
no, not Simon.
No, not Simon. That's Simon Strong. Yeah, anyways, the Blackwood here. He's like, hey, listen, you're gonna have to do something for me, and it's gonna have to be not condoned by the crown. He's like, okay, I'll go do it. Immediately flies Targaryen flags in there. It's like, dude, that's like whenever like a special operation has to be done by the United States and they send in covert ops, right? Or people that can't have any affiliation with the United States. And all of a sudden they wave an American flag the whole time. It's like, yeah, I bet it was America, but at least they didn't put their like name and branding on it. the Blackwoods are idiots. Damon asks a simple request: go in there, take care of business. I don't want any ties to it. And they're like, okay, cool. Let me just fly your banners the whole time. Holy shit, Blackwoods. This is why the Brackens rule.
Yeah, well, I didn't think so before. I kind of thought they were both pieces of shit, but now I have no choice. Of course, the Brackens rule. This is an embarrassment. I would have liked to see the actual endeavor, though, too. You know, like the little campaign they had. I would have liked to see it, even if it's just like a little montage of clips or whatever. I'm kind of sick of it at this point. You know, I didn't need to see, not Rook's Rest, dude. I'm like,
Battle of Burning Mill.
Burning Mill, yeah, Battle of Burning Mill. I didn't need to see it. I liked seeing the aftermath of such a large scale thing, but we can't do that now for every single conflict. You know what I mean? We can't do it for every single conflict.
I know, but if they would have built up some of the Riverland characters, you would have had like Black Alley and this, you know, this Lord Blackwood right here. I'm trying to remember her name is. I don't know if someone said it here in the chat or not. Is it Samuel or William Blackwood? Please in the chat, please help me.
Make
one of the two. Yeah, make the poll. Speaking of the poll, Alice is winning.
Yes.
With 35%. Simon is actually underdog, 26% as most handsome.
Yo.
But yeah, someone said William, I think. Anyways, yep, William. I wish they would have built up some of these characters, because then it'd be interesting to see them back at their homes, interacting, and that would give us more time to develop and go around. I don't know. I just feel like it's so kind of bounce around the same like 5 or 6 characters I really care about, when you could be bouncing around a lot more like we saw in Game of Thrones, and it actually worked.
And I see like a side character thing too. Like I did like to see Jace go to the phrase kind of. It kind of felt like a too overt retread of Game of Thrones. Like, oh, Starks need to cross the twins. You know, like it's kind of felt a little weird to throw that in there, but I did like it. It was short and sweet. But that's the kind of thing you're talking about, though. I would like to see more small characters, and I wish it was more conflict-driven versus this, where he just basically shows up and he's like, oh, you want hair and all? All right, that sounds good. Like, get on your knees and take your dentures out, and they're all yours. You know what I mean? And then they just say, okay. They just say, okay, right away. So, I don't know.
I know Christian in the chat here is simping for the phrase. We love the phrase just as much as anybody else. But what the hell are they, like, discussing this over? It looks like a door, isn't it? It's like a door on stones. If you're trying to like give me a reason to respect you, and the way we're communicating is with a door on cinder blocks, come on, guys. This is hood shit right now, right? This looks gross.
What's up with the slab on like the side of the phrase right there? Why do they have like a little 4 table in front? Like you're gonna play a game of like Scrabble, you know? And like,
that's what I'm saying.
They have their little board piece set up. Yeah, but why doesn't the other side get it?
Because I don't know. It's a dumb looking thing, but I do like. The set design does look so much better than other things we're seeing, though. Like, if you compare this to Rings of Power, you compare this to Acolyte, you compare this to so many other things, this show is leagues above it. But I can still nitpick it. Come on, guys.
Yeah, it looks weird. It definitely looks weird. It looks like they set it up just for this one meeting, too. Like, it looks like it's right in the middle of the road, doesn't it?
Quick. Put a table together. We don't have a table. We have this door. What the fuck are we going to do with the door? Turns sideways, it becomes a table. Okay, fine. Holy shit.
Hey, listen, you're being a little too demeaning to my boy Frey there. But I don't want anybody to panic. But Christian finally sent us a super chat. Thanks, Christian, for the first super chat. He said they did that tease of Simon Strong looking at her, but it could have been him looking at what Damon is looking at. Nothing. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure, maybe I'm wrong about this, but didn't they have Alice Rivers in a previous episode? No, I'm thinking of Lena. I was going to say, didn't they have Alice Rivers? Damon was looking at her, and then he like did a double take, and then she turned into someone else. But that was Lena who did that. It was like that serving girl.
Yeah,
so, never mind. Forget I said anything.
We see Lena in this as well.
Yes, we do.
Another first super chat by Christian. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christian. Yeah, appreciate this. First super chat that you've ever sent us is you're selling out the phrase sad face. Oh no, I would never sell out the phrase. Don't bring that up here.
No, we love the phrase.
I would never do that.
Simon Strong. I'm a Simon Strong simp. I admit it, dude. Yeah, well, get in line, Christian. We love Simon Strong here.
He chews up the scenery.
Phrase
never failed to get their toll, dude. True, absolutely true. Well, I think they have actually, but Walder Frey, never. Some ordinary gooner says, speaking of Blackwood, I feel bad for Blackwood. I feel bad for Corliss. Stuck with Rhaenyra's ass. I know. I don't know why he doesn't go do his own thing. He's just guilted by Balup. Dude, if I was Corliss, I'd be out taking voyage number 10, like tomorrow. because he's getting old. He's getting near the end of his life. Just don't do anything treacherous, man. Just go out there and live your life, man. Do your thing. Your kids are dead. Your wife's dead. Just go.
Got a super chat from Gage Rivera. Is that your first
your
one?
First time, man. You popping your cherry here?
Popping cherry.
Nothing Damon has come close to this. Wait, sorry. Nothing Damon has done has come close to his freak dream. Yeah, I mean, that's somewhat true. But that's an Alice Rivers plant, man. That's not a legit dream.
Yeah, not legit. And also, let's see here. Someone asked, is this pre-recorded? No, we're live right now. Let's see. I'll pull up your chat. You asked.
This is pre-recorded.
Is this pre-recorded?
We just predicted. We predicted everybody's chats and how we'd respond to them.
It's
actually
what?
A little flex. Yo. Let's read a little Juby action here.
There you go, Juby.
The 2-hour-long graphic sex scene in the middle of the episode was a bit odd, but I thought it was a good episode. No, dude, it was all right. It was all right. Little mother-son love, I mean, you have a mother, didn't you? It's like pretty normal behavior.
Yeah, this is everyone's deep fantasy, I guess. They just put it on screen, right? That yeah. It was great. Loved every second of it. So this whole Frey interaction here, who even wants Harrenhal? I don't get the reason why they want it. Like it's like the Jerry Seinfeld joke of the Super Bowl tickets. Someone gets you Super Bowl tickets and it's way more of a chore. Now I got to buy a plane ticket. Now I got to buy a hotel. Like you're giving me like a gift, but I got to spend how much money to actually make it worth my while. With Harrenhal, I guess they're asking for it, of course, but why would you want it? Why do you think you can like renovate it? It's such a money, it's like a money pit. You just keep throwing money in there. Nothing's ever going to happen with it. Plus, it's haunted as shit. Come on, idiots.
Yeah, it's actually haunted too. It turns out in the show version, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, you're right. It's like getting an old apartment building, right? Like an old apartment complex gifted to you. It's like, yeah, if you sink like $200K into this thing, you could get it up and running and make absolute bank, right? But it's like, I don't have that kind of cash. It sucks. It's a chore. It's like, thanks a lot. Now I got to pay property tax on this bitch.
I know it's gonna suck. Well, I mean, and again, I'm not trying to trash the phrase. I'm a Frey supporter, maybe not as much as Christian, but I love the phrase. But come on, there's a better ask here. And also, why do they need to go through the crossing here? They could go down the King's Road. King's Road has been developed, right? King's Road is named after King Jaehaerys, who's developed the road, right? Why don't they just go on the King's Road? They go towards Harrenhal, which apparently they probably think to themselves, which Jace had to fly past to get over here. It goes Harrenhal, then if you go west, it'll be the twins and crossing. Actually, it's like northwest. Why didn't Jace just stop by and talk to Daemon and yo, dude, what's up? What the hell's going on here?
Like, I mean, if you want like the meta, or not? The meta answer obviously is that they want to make the Game of Thrones reference, for the phrase here. But yeah, like logistically, it makes no sense, and I don't think they want any interaction with Daemon yet either. I don't know what they're saving that for, by the way. I don't know what they want like this Daemon isolation arc to be about. Like in the book, he was this way too. He kept to himself and just did his own thing, but there wasn't this like refusal to communicate, and then like no one knows what's going on, like we are depending on Daemon, we think he's failing us. Like no, there was never that anything in the book. So I don't know what their plan is with this. It's strange.
I want to go quickly back to Daemon's stuff here when he's at Harrenhal. Couple things. Why is it so hard for people to call him king? Like you clearly see it gets to him. Just call him king, right? You don't have to call him king to everybody but just in front of his face, just call him king, right?
Dude, I love this. He already went over it with Simon Strong, too, which is so funny. And then in this episode, he's like, well, the queen's my wife, so what do you call me? And Simon Strong is like, king. And Damon's like, well, thank you. And Simon says, consort. It's just like, it's just so funny. He just drops that right on his balls. I'm like, why would you say that?
Yeah, dude, chill. Like, who are you trying to impress? Simon, I know you probably have the biggest balls in all of Harrenhal, but you need to just chill out just a little bit. I do like Daemon like lays in his bed and he's just kind of like, what the hell is going to be coming to the door? And I definitely thought the whole interaction when the River Lords woke him up, that might have been a dream sequence too. And I guess I'm now having the Daemon experiences. I don't know what's real or not, right? There's like a certain point in there where he's like, is this even real? Like, is this even real life? I wish Daemon would have said that. He's like, what the hell is even going on here?
Do you know how pissed off I would be if I was Damon in this place.
Mhm.
What's the movie I'm trying to think of? Oh, the movie Wedding Crashers. Okay, when they're at that like little. You ever seen it? Wedding Crashers with
Yes, I have seen
Vince
it. Yeah.
Vaughn. Almost. Okay, so when they're at that retreat place, like Owen Wilson's like doing his thing trying to get Rachel McAdams, whatever the love interest,
Cringe.
and
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, cringe. And Vince Vaughn is like plugging the crazy girl, right? That redheaded girl looks like a better
Mm,
looking Amy Adams. Uh,
right.
and he just wants so badly to get some sleep for one night. He just can't get any sleep, but he keeps getting like physical injuries brought about him. He doesn't want to have sex with this girl anymore. She's like draining him dry. And then that gay brother keeps coming in the room too, like to paint pictures of him and tie him up in a bed and do weird shit to him. It's the same
Yeah.
situation. I'm just Damon. I'm on a military campaign trying to gather a host. I want to become king. Can I please just get one night of sleep? It's already haunted as shit. I have a witch giving me terrible dreams. And now in the middle of the night, these people that I thought I did a favor for, like this is a nice equal exchange situation, show up at my
Mhm.
doorstep ready to bitch at me at midnight. It's like,
Oh.
go to hell. Like, I'd be losing my shit on that.
Of
I
course,
would be
it'd probably be
losing my
the
shit.
only time I'm actually getting real sleep too. It's like
Oh,
finally I'm falling
exactly,
asleep,
exactly.
and it's like, holy shit, this couldn't have waited. Like, do you guys enjoy waking people up in the middle of the night, being up this late? Like, just wait.
That's a
I'm
good
more
daylight
than
to get some sleep too. Like, there's
that's what I'm
plenty of
saying.
beds
Yeah,
here.
just chill. We can talk about it in the morning. Yeah. The painting was a gift. There you go.
Yeah, it's true.
Thank you, Christian. Yeah, I what was your favorite? What is this?
Why are they favoriting A1? Who's favoriting A1?
Oh, for like when we
Explain
pull up
yourself.
comments.
Oh, favoring A1? Hey, listen. Spoiler alert, A1's got some base takes. So we are biased now. As soon as we see A1, we got to pull it up.
Yeah, well,
Not
listen,
every time. Not every time, but
not every time, but yeah, listen, give us some base takes and we'll be pulling up more comments.
yeah,
But
for our first few streams or whatever, A1 was like the most base person, like consistently,
there
like
you go,
pound for pound. Yeah, I mean, come on, look at that. It's gold. Like short and sweet.
Yeah. And also become a member. We're gonna do this too, real quick, just do a quick plug for our members. If you become a member and you comment on our videos, you're gonna get priority. We'll make sure we'll always respond to your comments. Where the channel is getting bigger and it's a little harder to respond to every person on our videos. So if you become a member, we'll for sure be able to respond. And also, if you want to DM us directly, just go to our Twitter, which is the pinned comment down in the chat right now. Just follow us there on Twitter, and you should be able to DM us if you have any hot, sweet, juicy takes. How do I become a member? See, I don't know what's going on. You can become a member. You just click the join button there at the bottom. If you're on the mobile app, click out of the live chat, and there should be where is the thing? Let's see.
Come on, tell me. Listen,
Actually,
it's also voice activated. So if you turn off your computer and then restart it, and then the whole time it's booting up, you scream, "Become a member! Become a member! Become a member!" That works too.
There's definitely a way to
Explain that,
do
though.
it. I'm trying to think how you do it on the mobile. Maybe someone can walk you through it or say it right now. But yeah, become a member, get cool, awesome emojis. Like, let's see here. Here's a good depiction of what we have coming up here. The Michael Jordan chorus crying like a baby because he lost everybody. You get the green banners. You got Damon with the gun, who definitely should be using it if people wake him up in the middle of the night.
Dude, based.
So yeah. Anything else you want to say about Damon here? I like Damon's arc. There's not a lot going on in it, but he should be more of like a side kind of quest going on right now compared to what like is happening with the bigger plot. Like if we were getting actually Battle of the Burning Mill, Stonehenge, the Rook's Rest, his plot or his kind of arc right here would be great and I would love it. But instead it's because so much of it is kind of nothing else is going on. He feels like he's the main focus when he shouldn't be. He should be like the side. Should be like the dessert
exactly.
or the appetizer or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, he should be. Absolutely. I think it's strange the way they're doing it a little bit. It feels okay to me though. Like I say, the Damon stuff is probably my favorite stuff going on because it's such a like aesthetically, it's great. Matt Smith chews up the scenery pretty much whenever he's on there. The Alice River stuff, even though it's weird, it is interesting to see happen. I think it's okay. I definitely think it's okay. It's probably the most interesting stuff, but it's still not perfect. Yeah. Dream lore. Come on, man. Simps for all the female viewers. Actually, the females have a higher bar to reach. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. They have to be hating each other. So
right. There's some other females in the chat too, and notice we haven't pulled them up yet.
Jay Pizzle. thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. So make sure you have that activated in the chat that you can be receiving gifted memberships, but gifted 5 memberships. So thank you, Jay Pizzle, for spreading the good word to the people in the chat. Thank you so much. Real quick on Jace, let's see if I can just quickly go to him real quick. Last thing I wanted to say about him is I don't know. This is the most we've seen him do, and I really wish we just saw him up north with Cregan this whole time. This season.
Me too.
This is just wasted potential.
Oh, dude, that's my number one thing that I wanted to see this season. Now, like in retrospect, I was expecting to see it, of course, going into the season, but I didn't know how bad I wanted it until they skipped over it, man. Anybody in this chat who has not seen the movie RRR, okay, go watch it. It's a 3-hour Indian movie, and I know it sounds, if you haven't seen it, you don't know, but when you watch it, you'll realize it's the thing you've been missing your entire life. If you want to see a bromance between 2 men, that's what I wanted to see between Jace and Cregan. We need to see it. Sarah Snow, put her in there. Don't put her in there. I don't care. I want to see those two hunt together, eat together, sleep together, naked, of course, but platonically. They're just rolling around on the bed together. It slips in sometimes. That's okay.
Like Damon and his mom in this episode.
Correct. Just nothing weird.
just 2 relatives hanging out, chilling out. I wish, because I don't want to spoil anything for Jace in the future, but having some awesome interactions and building up his character would just make it so much more impactful for events that are going to be coming down later. With Jace, if he had those moments as like, I lost my brother, Cregan also lost his brother, they could, bro out over that. There's also this part where Cregan has a bastard sister, Sarah Snow, and there's a rumor that mushroom spread that Jace actually falls in love with her, right? And how good would that be if Jace falls in love with this bastard? Because deep down he knows he's a bastard that was raised up into a noble house, but he looks at her differently, right? That's actually a cool, character arc, whatever you want to say, interaction that they could develop for the show. But instead they're like, no, let's just have him diddling around in Dragonstone and just being like, mother, when are we gonna go dragon fighting, mother? Fine, I'm gonna go to the phrase and figure the fuck out. Dude, it's like, dude, who wants this?
Well, they were actually supposed to get married too, allegedly, according to Mushroom. They're married in the ways of the old gods, the weirwood trees, in order to earn Cregan's respect or whatever. And listen, it'd be that'd be cool too, because it would also have this, create this major tension with Bela later on, because he's betrothed to Bela still, Bela Valarian. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff they could have done to create this drama that didn't exist in the book necessarily on the surface. And instead they just choose to make Alicent and Rhaenyra pout at each other, little light knife play. Yeah.
Nah, it's missed opportunity with this with Jace. We could do, if we knew we'd get the views on it, because we just like spend hours on videos and then we get like 2,000 views and it's like, okay, let's just go back to some normie shit people are gonna eat up, like what if Robert didn't die? People like that, which I like doing, but I would like to do a video where it's like, okay, how could you fix Jace for season 2? How could you fix Rhaenys from season 1 and season 2? There's definitely ways you could have made this character more compelling, almost like a rewrite of it. But
what's weird?
Go ahead.
I was just say, just because all encompassing. I'm just thinking about this out loud now. Our average video, like let's say the Robert one or whatever, I bet from start to finish, including recording it, editing the audio, whatever, editing, like putting the video animations and everything, uploading it to various things, which takes forever, like the throwing the file around and all that. I bet you there's close to 8 hours of total work into that, like between the both of us.
Oh yeah,
like in one video. Yeah, exactly. It's like, man, I wish we could do things on small characters. When we do that shit and then it just turns up with no views, no bueno. So basically, go ahead.
Well, because we're gonna do one on Mara Trant, people's favorite. People's favorite character, and I mean, we're gonna do the crossover video regardless of whether people like it or not. That's gonna happen, and we're gonna shove it down people's throat about Craster. But real quick, we're gonna get back to your super chat here. But the IJP Mexican, boohoo! I got 2
Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, feel for us, feel bad for us. And real quick,
Abyssal Bunny says Jason Cregan Stark definitely has sexual tension. Oh, dude, absolutely.
At the very least. Absolutely.
Dude, they're about to melt the wall, man, with that tension. So basically, it says, "Take my wallet." Also, thoughts on Helena?
Thoughts on Helena? She's really weirdly written. For whatever reason, they don't want to make her a girl boss. They want to make her like hyper autistic, which is a weird choice based off of her kind of arc within the books, which is supposed to be at this point, she's supposed to be like insane, kind of like I've lost my son. I had to pick which one I had to kill, and they killed the other one. She's out of it right now, and all of
Oh,
her assets that she'd bring, like her dragon is actually really big. Dreamfire is huge.
yep.
That would be a huge asset on the battlefield right now, but we're not even talking about it because Helena's just like, I don't know, seeing the future. She's having like the That's So Raven moment of seeing the future, but just all the time.
Right. Well, see, but that's the thing though. In the book version of Helena, she goes nuts after the blood and cheese thing, and like becomes a recluse and like whatever. So there is a legitimate reason why we don't see her on the battlefield and her dragon be put to use, in the book. But in the show version, she's just kind of fine. So yeah, it's like we're wondering what she's doing all the time now. Like, shouldn't she be doing something somewhat productive? Maybe.
Eh,
Like they
eh,
went way out of their way to say,
yeah.
I should be sad about this kid dying, but actually I'm not. I kind of feel better than I've ever felt, ever. It's like, okay, then do something.
Well, but like, why? Why did they make her like this? Why did they make Jace like hyper, like autistic, or like has Asperger? He's like hyper focused on like learning Valyrian. Like why didn't they do that?
Yeah.
It's such a weird
Who
choice.
knows?
Maybe they're just like, we need somebody to have like neurodivergency. Who do we pick? And they just threw a dart at the wall and like, oh, Helena. Looks like that's who it's gonna be. So I don't know. I like Helena character in the book, and here she's okay. But just because this like most recent events last season, I'm just not for her. If anything, it's a great relief that this burden of a boy has been lifted off me. I'm kind of over it now.
Christian says the greatest sword. Oh, by the way, Christian is actually a new super chatter, so thanks, man. The greatest swordsman ever got killed by Marin Trant.
Yeah,
That's because the best swordsman is Marin Trant. Okay,
Oh,
learn the true lore, Christian.
We did a video really early on about Serial Pharrell. Serial Pharrell sucks, and he's also like kind of a low key groomer for who's her name Arya, being like, oh, these are the true gods, and they say not today, and it's like, dude, you're just grooming my kid into the religion. We follow the old gods, not this weird, like, I'd be pissed if I got a sword instructor and they're teaching him a new religion. Like, dude, chill out.
Yeah, like a karate teacher or something like that. Like then during indoctrinating my kids, I walk in early to pick them up and they're doing some kind of ceremony. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me, dude? Like, and then I can't beat him in a fight, which really pissed me off.
Now I'm thinking like in Seinfeld, where it's like the cult, with Wilhelm, and Ned comes in and he's looking at Cyril Farrell and he's like, why aren't you trying to get me into like the many-faced god like cult here? It's like, what's wrong with me?
Sunshine carpet cleaning or whatever it was.
My name is Tatiana, or whatever his name.
Yeah. Tanya or something like that. You know what? No joke. My brother, who of course, my brother, he had a friend. Well, you also know his friend, and in fact, he watches our videos. But he hung out with this guy a long time ago, and as I think as well, right? His mom went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So she went like nuts, like went outside and like would look up at the sky and say like they're almost here and stuff like that, like weird cryptic shit. And before she just went totally nuts and like left. But in the process of that, so she wasn't totally nuts yet. My brother was taken with her and whatever, my brother's friend, or my friend too, to go to this event that it was like a dinner or something or whatever. Long story short, they ended up going into a basement. It was a cult meeting. It was like a ceremonial cult meeting with candles, and like weird shit. They talk about sacrifices, but not physical sacrifices, some other kind of sacrifice. I don't know. Pretty messed up. That's my little way to relate.
That is, I've never heard that story until now. Like, that is weird. The cult thing. Man, we got to talk about that more offline. Real quick, I accidentally deleted. I was trying to like the comment right above it, but this guy said Syrio had no sword or armor. LOL. Yeah, I mean, the greatest swordman had no sword, no armor, no nothing. Just pick up the sword. Yeah, might do a full breakdown on that again because
we've already done. Listen, I'll give you the short version. He was able to easily knock down all of these Kingsguard, like individually or whatever, and they're on the ground for a good 15 seconds each. Like, oh, they're groaning, they're just preeing all over their armor, right? And Syrio Farrell could easily have like delivered at least some more devastating blows to their heads, while they're down there with his wooden sword. Or how about this genius? Pick up one of their real swords. How about the first guy you knock down? Pick up the sword. Maybe put on one of their helmets. At least pick up the sword. They're all dead.
Put on that. Don't put on that helmet.
Come
Just
on.
leave that around.
Hey, by the way, Sirio's supposed to be bald as shit, and he's got that disgusting afro. Clean it up, man.
Yeah, we need some more base bald boys in Game of Thrones, and for whatever reason, everyone to keep their hair. Cringe. Okay, real quick, we got to go through some of these super chats here. Christian, first time super chatting. Did the Hound ever laugh harder at the Mirren Tran, I think, comment, or at Cyril Farrell, where he's like, he lost her at
Based Hound.
Yeah.
Nura says, not sure if I mentioned it, not sure if mentioned. But where do you think the season will end? That is a good question, and we will answer that later on when we go into spoilers. I think we'll do spoilers pretty soon, actually, probably in like 10 minutes. Yeah,
we want to talk a little bit about Rhaenyra and Corlys, and then we'll get into spoilers. And I've left some of the super chats and comments, mostly the super chats, because we have those start here. So if you have any spoiler super chats, maybe just wait a little bit, and we'll get into it soon.
Or do it now, and we'll wait too. Just stick around for like maybe 10 more minutes, and then we'll get to them.
Okay. Some other ones.
Jay Pizzle says, "Do you think that people look at Daemon the same way they look at Helena with the time skips and such?" Also, shout out Christians for a super chat. Yeah, listen, Christian, thanks, buddy. First time. So wait, do I think that people look at Daemon the same way they look at Helena with his time skips and such? I'm not sure I understand the question.
Yeah, Daemon the same way they look at Helena with the time skips and such.
Yeah. Wait. So no, with Daemon, like phasing it, like tripping, like kind of waking up in random situations, and he's like psyching out. Do you think they look at him the same way people look at Helena?
Gotcha.
Because Helena's retarded.
Yes. Okay, I understand now. Yeah, maybe, because that'd be kind of funny if. Well, maybe, you know what? I think Damon's more on like the Adam Sandler click mode, right, where he's just kind of going through life and just kind of lulling through it. And they're like, okay, he seems fine. All of a sudden he wakes up and he's super aggressive, asking where he's at. That's where I think they look at Daemon as, because. Yeah, no, that's how I think he is. I don't think they look at him like Helena at all. Okay, a couple more super chats here.
Unknown says, "How do the Frey stack up here compared to the great late Walder Frey, first of his name?" Dude, not even close. Are you shitting me? Not even close. This guy doesn't embrace the bald. Walder Frey didn't either. But you know what? Walder Frey was rocking it, man. And the book version, I'm pretty sure, was bald. So
yeah, and way older. I think he's supposed to be like 90 in the books, right? He's holding on. What? Not even I wouldn't think. Is it a spoiler at all? I don't think it is. We might see a Walder Frey cameo in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms, the Hedge Knight series that's going to be coming out. Not this next season. I don't think we'll see him, but we might see him as like a little boy. That's how old Walder Frey is, and he's still kicking. I love Walder Frey.
Before I read this, what am I thinking of right now? There's like we talk about the Daemon thing, with him kind of waking up in random situations. What am I thinking of? It's like a movie or a TV show where somebody's like teleporting and they're like spilling water, or like they're spilling their drink or something. What is this thing I'm thinking of?
This is Thor. Thor when he's like, is it Thor Ragnarok?
Oh, yeah. Thor Ragnarok. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Okay. All right. Couldn't think of it.
Good. Another super chat here.
Yep. Degriz says, Daenerys ass is the perfect woman. Nothing is her fault. No one values her opinion. Has to be lead on decisions. Kicks out her husband because Macron. Who's her husband?
Yeah, I don't know.
You're saying
maybe it's Rhaenyra.
Is Rhaenyra? I think you mean Rhaenyra. Yeah. Unless I think he's just saying Daenerys ass, like Rhaenyra's Daenerys ass version of her or something like that. But, dude, I thought maybe he was talking about kicking out Dario. But
your boy.
I don't blame him. Yeah, no, don't say that.
Yeah, listen, if we could make any video we wanted to, you would for sure be making why Game of Thrones went downhill after they recasted Giga Chad Dario into the low T.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Dario.
Tell me how I'm wrong.
I just don't feel that passionate about it.
Listen,
I think you're right. It just
historians, like 500 years from now, historians are going to be able to go back and pinpoint that recasting of Dario is like the point where this country and this world fucking fell off. You just wait. They're going to be able to link that recasting to the whole, assassination attempt we just had. I swear to God, they're going to. It's all connected, man. Arthur Gomez says, or Gomes? Jason would do a lot of yapping, no motion. Correct.
Yes, and Jace.
Correct.
Yeah, he has been talking a lot. Nothing like really meaningful up until now. He finally is making some moves, but yeah, I wish he could just be broing out with Krieg and Stark up north. Have more time up north. People would be getting those member berries. They'd be loving it. Listen, why aren't we what's it called running this show? We'd be making it so much better.
Oh, dude, I wish. See, this is the thing. I don't want to be in charge ever of writing a full show. You and me have been through this with like Star Wars and other things too.
Nah, we're
I
fine.
don't want to be writing it. I want to be.
I want to be editing it.
I want to be like on the decision board. It's like
Yeah.
they do all their storyboarding and they blah blah blah, and then they come to me and they say, "Is this good? Is this good, Gator? Is this okay? Is this fine?" And I say, "This is fucking pathetic. I need you to redo it with these details, okay?" And then they have to redo it, and they come back and we repeat. Christian, with his first super chat, I think, ever to this channel, so thanks, man, says water dancing.
Oh, because you're talking about Serial Pharrell.
Serial sucks.
Yeah. You're getting banned for that fucking comment.
Yeah,
Christian,
see you later,
too far.
Christian. Thanks for the last super chat you'll ever make, first and last. Noura says, poll sucks. Number 2, egg. Wait, no Aegon 2 on. Oh, yeah. He's objectively the most handsome. Listen, no joke. I think Aegon 2, the guy who plays him, he looks really short, but he's actually a pretty good-looking guy.
Yeah, he's a great-looking guy. And I think it was good casting. And one thing I don't think we talk about enough in House of the Dragon compared to Game of Thrones, really good acting performances. The script is sometimes lacking there, but then again, Game of Thrones is going off of a book and they're just modifying a couple things. They're whole cloth basically creating a lot of these scenes with House of the Dragon. So I understand why the quality of the interactions of the script of plot points are a little off, but the acting or the actors in all these scenes are great. It's just kind of the script that's not really there. And again, you know what? We should maybe just give this season a little bit more grace just because it was during the writer's strike. And they're able to do it seamlessly, which I'm glad they didn't delay it because I don't know if I wanted to wait another year for this, right? So.
Okay, Harem King's getting banned after this super chat. Aemon deserves to be king. Magnificent thigh gap. Listen, first half the chat, probably true. Second half the chat. Hope you enjoyed watching us for the last time, Harem King.
Well, yeah. Also, Harem King being like, they're favoring A1, and you come out with that fucking trash take, dude. Yeah, you're getting banned.
You know what?
Rest in piss.
But send us a few more super chats first, though. We'll ban you after the stream.
Make your point in super chats only. Your rebuttals. All right, we got another super chat here.
Yeah, Jube. How do you think the attempted assassination of Trump affects Rhaenyra's claim? Will the small folks still support her after that? Don't worry, we have a video coming out about it next week.
Yeah, we'll break it down, scene by scene.
Break it down, man.
Yeah, don't worry. Thank you for the super chat. Let's get into the Rhaenyra stuff here. I really felt, again, like nothing was really going on with her, like every other episode. It's just so annoying. What did Rhaenyra do at the end of this episode? Where was Rhaenyra at the beginning of this episode and at the end of it? And what decisions did he make that you felt like was impactful for her story? That could have been like, that's all that different from episode 3 to 5 now.
What I hate so much is that, like, for some, the writers, I think, wrote themselves into a corner here where they've made Rhaenyra so passive that she can't possibly have any decisions, like militarily, like she won't, and they wrote themselves that way. So they have to force now this relationship between Rhaenyra and the White Worm, to where the White Worm's functions, the way she operates in the world, has to be involved, like tied with Rhaenyra, even though now it's basically just the White Worm asking Rhaenyra's permission and then Rhaenyra saying yes. Like, that's what she's been reduced to now. Like, she's basically accepted that no one's going to listen to her military leadership. She's like sending people away so that they can't defy her in front of herself anyway. And she's just telling the White Worm yes or no. That's all she's doing.
Well, the whole White Worm thing is weird too. Again, not to be like in the book. Yeah, but in the book, this interaction's not here at all, right? White Worm is just someone in King's Landing you use for connections and they interact with. But Rhaenyra, every time she's interacting with the White Worm, it's almost like she is coming from a very cringe situation, and then she gets sound advice from the White Worm. The White Worm, first off, sounds like she bit her tongue the whole time, so I don't know why you would even take like sound advice from some person that can't even eat properly. Second, everything she's saying is just kind of like, oh, don't worry, we can fight a war in a different way. Dude, listen to Alfred Broom. He is the most base sound advisor you have. And if anything, he's kind of rustling you up to like get some sort of interaction from you, or, some like rattle your brain to hopefully like get you, get your jimmies rustled enough for you to act. Because what does she do by the end of this? She says, hey, okay, White Worm, you're going to hopefully go to King's Landing, stir up some shit. And also, Alfred, you're going to go talk to my husband because I have marital issues. And dude, Alfred, my guy, don't do anything for Rhaenyra. Just go to Daemon and join Team Daemon. Alfred and Daemon could
Seriously.
rule the Seven Kingdoms. That's my team right there. Daemon and
Dude,
Alfred for the
Damon
win.
King, Alfred Hand. That's all you. Yes, dude,
I
absolutely.
need a towel. I need a towel.
Simon Strong, food tester. I guess I don't know. There's got to be a position for him too.
Clean up Isle Dawn. Clean up Isle Dawn.
Exactly.
Yeah, I want those two so badly. And what's wrong with? I mean, okay, let's just go with what Rhaenyra does in this episode, right? So she's
Yep.
all kind of sad about Rhaenys's death, right? And then she's saying, like, people don't respect me. They want me to act, but I don't know how to act. I don't have enough dragons to act. And then she basically gets advice from the White Worm to go fight the war in a different way. She now is eventually appointing a hand, which she wants to ask Corlys for, which should have been like day one things, right? This is like a president coming to office and be like, oh, I don't know who my cabinet is yet. I don't even have any ideas. Let's just wait like how
no vice
long?
president even.
And it's like, I don't even have a secretary of defense and we're actively in war right now. Like, what the hell is going on here? Yeah, it's
and the people who are trying to like kind of give me advice and take that role or whatever, I just feel offended by them and I'm belittling them and because I claim that they belittle me. It's the worst operation I've ever seen.
Oh, this reminds me. I hated this one scene with Rhaenyra when she goes, "This whole time I was a cupbearer. I never had a sword put in my hand. I don't know the difference between a hilt and a pommel. I don't know anything about it." It's like, dude, Rhaenyra. You were a cupbearer. You were literally in every single of these small council meetings. You had every connection to make there, every kind of like understanding actually how political maneuvers are done. You actively went away from King's Landing to be in Dragonstone. What do you fucking expect?
She said that. She said that in the in this episode too. She said, "Yeah, oh, they didn't teach me how to fight. If I was a boy, they would have put a sword in my hand right away and sent me to the battlefield. But because I was a woman, they gave me my father's cup and taught me the name of every single lord, no matter how small the house." I'm like, so the perfect vital information you're gonna need while ruling? Because guess what kings do? They sit in fucking chairs. Like, dude, oh my god, how is she so stupid? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's just like, they didn't give it to me on a silver platter, please. Oh, it's like, dude, you have to fight for this. Like, what do you expect? And I think Viserys made it very clear to Rhaenyra about shoring up her claim for the throne. She should have been actively making connections within King's Landing, putting her, like, I think that's one of the best things we get to see with the difference between Ned and Tyrion when they become hands is Ned kind of just falls on whatever's there and expects them to like fall in line. And, that does not happen. Everyone kind of uses Ned's naivety to their advantage. While Tyrion comes in, cleans shop, puts his own people in charge. That way he knows who's loyal and who's not to him, right? And starts kind of purging out everything. Rhaenyra has no idea how any of this works, even though she had like the front row seats the whole entire time. Like, are you kidding me? Are you that stupid? Are you expecting me to believe you're that stupid? Maybe she is that stupid. I don't know. Like,
I think she is that stupid at this point. Like, well, I mean, she's not like stupid. She's not stupid, but the way she interprets information, she's just in this like perpetual state of victimhood. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't shown enough. I wasn't given enough. I wasn't upheld enough. I was like, yeah, because you have to have some level of agency, some type of responsibility for it. You made bad decisions, just accept it and move on. This whole thing where it's like, my daddy says that I was supposed to succeed him. It's like, yeah, but your dad's not the only person in the world. Like, if he was the only person in the world and everybody else was just like an animal, it's like, yeah, that's going to listen to whatever, like loud noises and, like cattle prods. Like, yeah, sure. You can easily take over a place like that. But when you just decide to fuck off to Dragonstone, it's just...
It would be more believable if she was a male heir and she thought, okay, this is just going to go directly to me. But then all of a sudden, Daemon makes the claim for the throne, right? And because she's not there, Daemon's like hand of the king, and he's like, "No, I'm actually going to press my claim. I should be king instead of you, the son," right? That's where you'd be like, "What the hell is going on here? Why would he think he has a claim? This goes against everything, the president and what's called traditions that we have set up for almost 100 some years, right?" But it's not the case. She is the new person. She's definitely going against tradition. Why does she think her claim is going to be any like walk through the park by any means? Yeah, it's dumb. I hate this kind of victimhood she has about this whole thing. Instead, in the book, she's a bad bitch. She wants what she's going to do everything she can do to get what she wants. And in this, she's like, why isn't everyone just patting me on the back and telling me I'm a good job and tell me what to do? But when they tell me what to do, I don't want to do what they want me to do.
I know,
Dude,
I know.
Rhaenyra, just shut the fuck up.
Your book,
Ooh.
Rhaenyra. She wants what she wants, and she's gonna get it. And you know what she wants? She wants a fucking baker's dozen of fucking bakery fresh donuts, baby. She wants like 3 glazed, 3 like, you know, maybe just regular chocolate raised. Definitely a few cake donuts in there. Maybe a glazed croissant. That's pretty fucking good.
Oh hell yeah! Oh, do you know what else she wants? She wants Christian to send his very first super chat, which I guess we got here.
Speaking of, we actually do have Christian's first super chat here. I think on our channel, so there's no Rhaenyra stuff
because we said we're going to the Rhaenyra stuff.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
True.
Tim's talk, Team Black, Bubba.
Whoa.
Tim, you're about to get banned for that kind of
Tim,
shit.
you're
Knock
fucking
it off.
out of here, dude.
Rhaenyra wishes she was given a sword. Bitch, you have a dragon. Exactly. Yeah, you definitely have the ability to be in like an aggressive person and a person that is in like a warrior position because you have a dragon. It's more powerful than a lot of these other men. At least on the battlefield, right?
Yeah,
so
if she's a girl boss, where's the bossing? Yep, exactly.
Right. Yeah, and then
yeah. What was his name? Hold on. 11 blue Kit Kats.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're in that fandom Discord too. He says we need
no beast Rhaenyra that breaks Cyrax's back.
Oh hell yeah,
absolutely.
That's what we need. Please, who's D do I need to S around here to get that kind of shit?
And who's L? A do we have to L?
Dead Girls just became a member. Hey, thank you so much. Memberships are open. Anybody?
Hey,
here.
Do us a favor, Dead Girls, because for some reason you're the only non-retard we have in this chat. No one else knows how to do this. Could you like put a detailed walkthrough of how to become a member for our challenged folks?
Yeah, some people don't understand how it works, so just go ahead walk them through here.
Clicking's hard sometimes.
And then Christian, very first super chat. Thank you so much.
Whoa, first one. Thanks, Christian. Treason is treason. We need a stronger Grand Maester. She needs a Pycelle. Oh, dude.
Oh, dude, chill out with your Pycelle. You have like a hard on for Pycelle as Pycelle has a hard on for Tywin, dude.
Pycelle's not even that durable. Remember how easily he was able to get his beard cut by Bronn? Come on.
Oh, dude.
If he was any kind of respectable maester, that beard would have broken the knife.
So one last thing I want to say about this episode real quick before we go to a quick spoiler territory. So this is not spoiler, but this whole Corlys thing, I hated this. I don't feel Corlys's pain nearly as much as they're trying to make me feel for it. Because I don't know, like, I think I'm more so put off by the fact that they're like, this all was for Rhaenys, all of your voyages. Like, no, it wasn't. It was for my legacy. She's part of my legacy. It's all for my legacy. And that's what you should be more reflecting on, is like what it costed, or what it cost for me to forever carve my name into the history books, was every person around me had to die. That's interesting for him to go like, oh, my one wife, this is the breaking point. I'm so sad. It's like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he's more reflecting on all of his choices, and more so it feels like he's just reflecting on this one single event. Am I wrong here, or what'd you feel about this?
No, you're 100% right about that. I have no disagreements with that. But what I thought about this scene too is he's just pathetic. He's absolutely pathetic. He's like, this weird sadness. Like, it feels like everything's been taken away from him. He's not important anymore. I've never seen the sea stone. Not the sea stone. The driftwood throne.
I knew you were gonna say
look like such shit. I can't even believe it. You know, at least in season 1 when we got it, the kind of wide shots, you get to see the whole throne room, and it's like a chair they're sitting on. This looked like a fucking kitchen chair, like that somebody made like a little it's like a woodworker's first project.
It looks like Helena made it.
It looks like Helena made it. That's a good. That's right. It's like a Helena Hodor collaboration. That's exactly what it looks like. It's embarrassing. This chair is pathetic, and the room is so clean too. It's just, it doesn't look right. And this whole thing too, where he's like, "But Baela, I would name you my heir," and then she's like for
stop begging, bitch.
Yeah, for Driftmart. Like, no, she's not gonna do that shit.
Yeah,
it's embarrassing.
I don't like how aggressive she comes off in this scene too. Like, dude, Corlys is a based legend in all of history of A Song of Ice and Fire, like to the events of A Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Or the Song of Ice and Fire series there, at the main storyline. They still talk about Corlys, Christian Cole, Rhaenyra and Aegon a little bit, but Corliss is a huge legend. His name lives on. He's a legend right now. This is like the twilights of his years. That kind of is like a cherry on top of everything he's done. Yeah, Corliss rules, and IJP is dropping a lot of the sad MJ Corliss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's him in this in this scene. I wish it was more. You know what I do wish? I wish we got more Corliss stories, and he could make it like applicable thing that happened to him while he's out in sea, and just because how many times that's such a cliche or trope within TV shows is when a character's like, we're out in the sea and we didn't know what to do, so we had to fuck him. We had to fuck him wrong, And like,
Corliss, why do I feel like all your stories end the exact same way? No wonder you get that somebody fevers out at sea. Dude,
Yeah.
Shmi says he's a sea slug. Yeah, he is the sea slug.
Sea slug.
Got
Got a couple super chats here.
Oh, Damon and Alyssa need an Aegon Alicent scene now.
I think we're gonna get an Aemond Alicent more than an Aegon Alicent. But yeah, they all have mommy issues. What the hell's wrong with these mommies?
Drift Mark, more like Drift Shart. Baylor, come on. No, it's Drift Mart. Thank you very much. Just a little bit more, let's say, urban than the average. Yeah. Than the average great house. I know it's not a super chat, but real quick, I want to read this Tap 184. In the books, doesn't the chair look like shit too? It maybe does, I guess. Look maybe a little Frankenstein-y, but this is like a small, regular old chair. Like I'd rather a throne look kind of worn out and maybe waterlogged or whatever, but this just is embarrassing.
Oh, dude, if we saw more Italians in this show, I think I'd be done. That's where I draw the line. Italians, no more Greece. Knock it off.
Right. It gets close to the Dorne,
With Corliss, I just, this is so. We have the time with him to make this scene impactful. I feel like it drops the ball in a couple ways, and it could have been very impactful for Corliss. But I never. Why is it taking Corliss so long to think like he's going to get into it? Like what's his, like what changes with Corliss, him right now versus before
I don't know.
Died,
well, this is the same kind of thing. He's almost having the same issue as Alicent and Rhaenyra now, where he like doesn't see a point to it all, and he's like, why should I even fight? Like, I don't want this war. This is the war of other men kind of thing. But it's like, no, you're still one of the great houses. You've a very prominent house in the Seven Kingdoms. You're rich. I think he might still be the wealthiest house at this point. If not, he's the second.
At least up there.
Maybe third. He might be third at this point. But I don't know. It's a weird passive take they're putting him through. I guess maybe, if it's realistic, to real life, if somebody's wife died and you really do love your wife and you've been married to them forever, whatever, you might feel a little of like, what's the point and everything. I understand that, but I just don't see that being consistent from who Corliss's character is. Like you were saying earlier, he's all about his legacy. He always has been, no matter what. Even when his children died, brutally and horrifically, both of them burned to death. At least he thinks they did. One of them probably died from AIDS in reality, but he still just cared about his legacy.
Yeah. His legacy was number one, and that seemed like to be the focus. It seems more like, oh, this is all for the conflict that we're kind of getting into, and not the pursuit of your eternal life, basically, within history. And that's what it seemed like he was more, focused on, but that's not what they kind of focus on in this scene. So yeah, that's why I don't like it. Do you want to go into quick spoilers here about?
Yeah, we'll just address those couple things,
Okay, so this is you guys' warning, and actually, real quick before we go into spoilers, so we're gonna hit spoilers. Let me just hit the spoiler thing now, just so people have time to leave. But there was one more.
The AIDS thing. Sorry, I meant monkeypox.
Yeah, that wasn't funny.
Monkeypox.
Sorry, we're so sorry. Here's a quote by George R. R. Martin. Who was talking about the dragons. What's it called? Consistency, and just kind of lore in general. Here's you want to read this real quick? George R. R. Martin's quote here.
Yes, sir. From George R. R. Martin. I wish I could do a weird little nasally voice like he has, but fantasy needs to be grounded. It is not simply a license to do anything you like. Smaug and Toothless may both be dragons, but they should never be confused. Ignore canon, and the world you've created comes apart like tissue paper. Completely true. Everything he says is based, man.
Yeah, when he talks about consistency in lore, storytelling, and getting things right and staying on point, George is pretty good. Like he's one of the best. When he talks about adaptations being screwed up because of the directions they want to go, changing Blood and Cheese for whatever reason, it's cringe. And I like George when he's like, dude, stay on target, you idiots. Just focus on the things here. So, and real quick before we get into our little spoilers, we have 5 gifted memberships from Jay Pizzle.
Thanks,
Dude,
Jay. Thanks,
Jay,
buddy.
I want to kiss you metaphorically on the lips and deep tongue you metaphorically. So thank you so much for that. And
he's good at it.
Be sure to thank Jay in the chat here. Now you can get more stickers here. So
hey guys, why don't you all give Jay a big thank you for us?
Guys, in the chat right now, just comment what kind of sticker you guys want. We're gonna get a Crafter sticker. What other sticker do we want to do? Is there another one you can think of off the top of your head? A Fat Rhaenyra. Fat Rhaenyra is another one.
For sure, Fat Rhaenyra. Dude, I love just that generic fat picture from like last season. It's so funny.
So good. Okay. Spoilers, guys. Let's go into this one super chat we had before. So I hope you can see this.
Yes, so what's the likelihood that if Rhaena replaces Nettle, she'll be both the daughter and lover of Daemon? Added list acts of incest. I don't think that Nettles was ever incestuous with Daemon, if I'm being honest, from Fire and Blood. I know that was a rumor. I don't think so. I don't think Daemon was on that. As you know, we kind of think that Daemon is on his retention grind set for the majority of his life, except for very few exceptions, specifically when he's trying to have children. So I don't think that you know what? That's pretty much right there, the proof you need. We talk about it a lot on this channel, but Westeros suffers from leaky faucet syndrome, LFS, and any penetration, even if it's for a split second, results in a pregnancy, it seems like. So if Nettles never got pregnant, I don't think that Daemon was plugging her at all.
Yeah, I hate the leaky faucet. The theory is perfectly accurate. I hate that that's a thing. Basically, if you have sex, there's like 100%, 110% chance you're going to conceive the baby. Like everyone's ovulating, everyone's dropping the loads deep in there. It's ridiculous. And constantly Allison has to drink Plan T, Plan T, or what do you want to say it?
Plan BT, man.
Yeah, Plan BT. So yeah, I just hate that. And the only way you can know is if your kid comes out with your baby, I guess, right? We can confirm it. So we have some suggestions for stickers here before we get to the other spoiler super chat. But Thick Mama, please. Bald Tywin. Okay, Bald Tywin does rule. Blackface from Dildo.
That face says you, Dildo.
Allison Cake. Yeah, Allison Cake would be good. And then, of course, who else would suggest anything differently? Christian with
a Robin. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, Fat Rhaenyra.
Maybe at some point we'll get there. It's just a limited amount we can have. Is what sucks.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be doing the Fat Rhaenyra for sure. And then our other super chat here.
Nura said, not sure if mentioned yet, but where do you think the season will end? Yeah, so
gun to your head. Where does it end?
Gun to my head. I think that this is going to end with Rhaenyra and King's Landing. I think that's where it's going to end. Yep, I do. I think they're skipping so much, like kind of putting it breakneck speed. Oh, how many episodes do we have left? 3?
We have 3 episodes left.
Okay,
I didn't even know.
Yeah, go ahead. I think the climax of this or whatever is going to be kind of a red herring. Like it's going to be, for people who haven't read the book, we're going to think that Aemond and Kristen Cole are bringing their host to Harrenhal to fight Daemon, and it's going to be like this climactic thing between Daemon and Aemond, because they're going to have to build that up anyway, because that is going to be the true climax of the Dance of Dragons. So I think that's where it's going to end. I think we're going to see Aemond and all them show up, and they're basically going to be at an empty Harrenhal. And I don't know if that's maybe that's where it ends right there. But if it is, you and me and all the book readers and I guess everybody listening to it now too, we know that if Harrenhal is empty when Aemond finds it, we know that that's because Daemon and Rhaenyra and everything have plopped their asses down in King's Landing while they were gone. So I think that's where it's ending.
I think it's my guess is similar to Epic Sandmore 24. The Battle of the Gullet. I think that might be where they end it. But even that, I don't want to see the Battle of the Gullet this season. I wish they would have ended or had that as like a mid-season for next season. But based off like the speed you said already, Gator, that I think like the King's Landing thing is gonna have to come super quickly next season. Then if they don't do it this season, you'd be awesome as if it was a cliffhanger. We see the ships like intercepting. I don't know how that would work. the cliffhanger battle, like right before they're about to leave or go somewhere. But also the whole thing with the Battle of the Gullet, again, spoilers. Um, the Aegon and Viserys, Rhaenyra's children with Daemon, are supposed to be on the boats ready to leave. At this point, they're already gone, right? So the Battle of the Gullet
Well,
doesn't have the same
I think I
impact.
told you this before. I'm not even sure we're going to see the Battle of the Gullet. I think it might be just a thing that happens off screen, kind of like the other
Holy
battles have.
shit.
Well, because
How?
dude, well, what do you? The triarchy and everything is not built up at all. Like
That's true. Yeah.
they're not. Like what are they going to spend like these last 3 episodes building up the triarchy only? Like we don't see Team Green or Black for these next 2 episodes, and the third one is the Battle of the Gullet. Like that's the only way. Otherwise, people aren't going to be engaged. Like I don't even know if I'll be that engaged if they show us this random battle with against a faction we don't even know anything about at this point. Like from the
Yeah.
perspective of the show.
I agree with that. It needs to be built up better, and plus, it makes it's so much more impactful when you know that Otto earlier on was sending all these ravens, and he's working the phones like Tywin would, and then eventually it's kind of a delay response, and you see they benefit from it. Team Green benefits from all of Tywin's pulling of the strings. The only way it works, I guess, is if somehow Tywin goes back to Old Town. We see him this season. We see him still pulling strings, and then you see the Battle of the Gullet, which they might just move things around. They might take King's Landing, then there's the Battle of the Gullet because the Gullet's like right there, right?
I was gonna
So
say though, because remember, Hugh Hammer and Ulf the White are in that battle, and they're supposed to be on Dragonstone. They're supposed to be recruited on Dragonstone, not King's Landing. So they're in King's Landing right now.
I don't know if I don't know. Well, they might be in that battle. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. I know Alan, or is it Adam? Adam, I think, is the one that rides the dragon. Adam and they might be in it, but I know Adam and Nettles are both in that battle. I know for sure. I know those two are for sure, but it might be Hugh and
I'm pretty sure Hugh and Ulf are both in that battle too on Dragonback.
So if I'm wrong, I'm shutting down the stream, and I'm
okay, I don't know. I could be wrong too, but well, we're gonna delete the channel after the stream regardless. But I think that this season is going to end there because that's how they recruit maybe Hugh and Ulf the White then, and then they just put the Battle of the Gullet next season. Like that could be the mid-season next season big thing. I guess. I don't know. That's my prediction.
All right, so a couple more super chats here.
Thoughts on Gurm only throwing shade at House of the Dragon because the Blackwoods are portrayed as rapists and pillagers.
Okay, he is pissed off about. I don't know if he's pissed off about that, but he's pissed off about more than just that. He's mad about the dragons and the way they're portrayed in the lore. Like he said that the dragons aren't supposed to be in these. Like basically, we're gonna see a dragon kind of over in the Vale-ish area, I think, and there should be more towards volcanic and kind of like hotter areas. And they do have a mind of their own, and they have kind of patterns of behavior that they're going to go against in this series that kind of breaks the lore, and he doesn't like that at all. I think there's another issue Gurm has, George R. R. Martin, if people are confused. The
IJP only.
Yeah, who says who? This idiot. Someone ban IJP. Someone ban this guy.
What are they talking about, man?
George R. R. Martin also is getting mad about the sigils with House Targaryen because they're supposed to only have 2 legs, and all these other ones have 4 legs. And he's like, "What the hell? Am I crazy pills? If there's only 2 legs, only ever." And for some reason, they consistently use the 4-legged one. I'd go crazy too because it's such a big thing in the books. So.
Yeah, it's definitely weird. Like, well, as far as the whole like logo thing goes, I don't think it's that big a deal. But from the creator's point of view, I mean, yeah, I imagine it would be. Dead Girl says, "Do you think Aemon is going to try to kill Aegon?" Well, considering he's already tried to kill him, I think probably twice at this point. Will you count that as twice? Once in the air, once on the ground. I'd say probably yes. So, I mean, we're in the spoiler section, right? So,
spoiler section. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we're in the spoiler section. So, I mean, Aegon does die, and we don't know who did it. So, if they wanted to, they could have Aemon play like a direct role in it somehow. It'd be a chain reaction kind of thing, but you know what I mean?
Is it like one of those like Wallace and Gromit like things where Aegon steps on the one springing activation thing, and his marble rolls down this big hill and then hits a big anvil
it takes
hammer?
Like 2 years.
Yeah.
No, Aemon gives him a letter that says, my dear older brother, don't open this until February 20th.
And there's anthrax in it.
And then just, yeah. Or it's like one of those like anti-theft devices, like right in the face, right? And yeah, it's anthrax.
There you go.
Daniel Walsh says, thought on Diana coming back to slander Aegon more?
Diana. What am I thinking here? Thoughts on Diana?
I don't understand.
Coming
Wait,
back to
who's?
slander Aegon more.
Hold on.
Who's Diana?
I don't know. That's what I'm trying to think of too.
Chat, help us out here.
Oh,
Diana.
okay. This is the show only character. This is the one he graped.
Oh yeah, is she coming back? What happened?
I don't know. I thought she had a great arc.
Well,
I thought she had a great arc.
We didn't see her best arc, if you know what I'm saying.
No, not yet. Yeah, the
Yeah.
aftermath of drinking that Plan B tea. No, I think she's out of the show. You know, she kind of showed up just to sully our good boy's great name. You know,
We
He's
did
gone.
not see what happened there. For all we know, she was asking for it. I'm not saying she was. I'm just saying for all
We're
we
not
know.
saying she was. Holy
I'm
shit!
not saying that. Stop saying I'm saying that. I'm just
But
saying
it's on the table.
it's definitely on the phrase weird door table they set up despite Christian's simpage. It's fucking weird, Christian. You have to admit it. It's weird. All right.
Weird.
Jay Pizzle with 5 gifted memberships. Hey, thank you so much, Jay Pizzle. It means so much that you're giving people the great honor of using some of our emojis. So we will have Craster. Let's get Fat Rhaenyra in here. We'll get a Robert. Speaking of a Robert one, Vibe Checker, right here, real quick. Great commenter as well.
Oh yeah,
gave
Alice has
me
a jawline. Cut
Dude.
dragon glass. Go ahead.
Oh, but Vibe Checker gave us a fanficky like rundown of how Robert was going to fight Jamie in our What If Robert
It gave
video.
us chills, man. It gave us fucking chills.
I was like, dude, this is, I could just see it in my head, my mind's eye, and I was slipping on my chair. I was getting so wet.
It was awesome, dude.
Yeah. So.
We love it. If we could see a fan fiction, see, I value that, man. Imagine, they're doing like the whole Marvel What If show bullshit. Imagine we got like a House of the Dragon What If, but it was super high quality.
Oh, yeah.
I'd watch.
This says at the end, she's the White Worm's agent. No, I don't think she's the agent that are you saying she's the lady that walks from Dragonstone all the way to King's Landing? Because that one
so.
that girl there, she was just like the handmaiden of who's her name? Of Rhaenyra.
Wait, so is she? Because look, Nora says the same thing here. It's sus that she works at the White Worm. Is that true?
Now I have to look this up.
Okay, if that's we were joking earlier, but if that's true, now I am sort of suspicious that it might be a lie. If that's true.
Yeah, she's in the episode, or not this episode. She's in the other one, right? The one that got whatever graped, right? She was in there. She was at that the whatever bar where Ulf the White was. Remember? That's the one we're talking about. She's the one that got graped.
No, but,
I don't know about this.
But these guys are saying that. Look, I mean, again, yeah, apparently, okay. Listen, if that's the case, maybe Aegon's a good guy.
He's saying she's the one that opens the door into the building within King's Landing. Also, why is this so easy for everyone to get to King's Landing? This is ridiculous. There's a war. There's like a blockade. There's supposed to be a blockade going on, and everyone's able to get in.
Way too big of a deal about it. It's okay.
Where's the blockade happening that these ships are able to get through? I'm confused.
Like
Logistics.
50 miles away.
Yeah, whatever. All right. Speaking of 50 miles away, we're about to head out of here, guys. We're about to be 50 miles away from this stream here. But thank you all for being here. This was a great stream, and I loved every second of it. Did you love every second of it, Gator?
Dude, I loved every second of it a little bit more than you did, too. So fuck off, dude.
Okay, well, I'll take that personally.
Go to hell. We're done with this channel.
Any last things you want to say here about this episode before we close it out here? We have a video coming out Saturday. It's going to be the best video ever. We just recorded earlier.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
It's not
honestly, mediocre recording. But the ones we think are mediocre always end up getting the best views. So thanks, guys. But no, this episode, it was good. I actually did think it was decently good. I don't think it was even close to the worst episode I've seen of, this show so far. I think there's probably a couple worst episodes in House of the Dragon season 1, and I think there's at least one worse episode in this season 2. So it wasn't that bad. It was okay.
No, I think this episode could have been better. It had all the beats that could have been a great episode, but some of the character interactions, maybe some of the dialogue wasn't nearly as sharp enough that it could have had the great impact. And I don't expect it to come off or even hit the high highs that we got last episode. But I definitely thought there's nothing in this episode I want to rewatch except for one scene, and I might as well just pull it up on my incognito window anyways.
Yes, sir.
So that's the only thing I want to watch. But everyone right now better be hitting the like button on the stream right now. Share this out to everybody. Share this out. We need all the degenerates in this chat, guys. We need
I
all the
know.
base Song of
We're
Ice
we're
and Fire
very
fans.
appreciative. You know, like I said before, we said this before on live stream. We had another channel before this, and we did not garner nearly the sheer number of based people that we have now. We definitely had some based people, and they actually are here now too, for the most
Yeah.
part. But we didn't have the sheer number, so we're very appreciative of this, and we want it to grow. So, like we said, share with all your contacts. Share with us your address, whatever. We'll distribute it amongst your people for you. You know, we can do that research if you share all your information with us. And yeah, hopefully we keep growing big time.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't think there's anything else I want to say.
Well, no, after the stream ends,
yes,
please
thank
stay
you.
here right after it ends. And
Stay here.
When it becomes a regular video, so we're outside the chat, make a legitimate comment on the video. You know, tell us how stupid we are. Tell us how, incestuous supporting we are.
Oh, okay. $2 more. Review the book covers.
That's
Okay,
right, that's
real
right.
quick. Let me pull this up. Real quick.
Mason.
You stinker, Bingus.
You motherfucker, Mason.
We had to pull up. Okay, so book covers. Book cover. Tell them what they should comment after the stream. What's going to be the new?
Oh yeah. Okay, comment. Oh, man, it's got to be something insulting, right? Last week you guys told us to our takes were terrible. It didn't give us that great of views, so we got to change it up a little bit. Maybe say OMG, I can't believe you show that on stream, or so that's what a bussy looks like, or something like that.
No, don't do bussy stuff. Bussy's
yeah, you can't say bussy. That's true. It'll get flagged.
It's gonna get flagged. I'm trying to think of a good comment they could make that's really just gonna be like, oh damn, that is pretty good. Why is this so hard for me to open this up in this open image in a new link?
I don't know, man. It's right click, left click. Come on, boy. Let's do this.
Paste. Well, I'm trying to pull it up.
Show us your math skills in the comments after this. Just argue about what's the correct answer to the equation and make it some complex shit. Like you just got done with nonlinear algebra.
Here,
people,
okay.
People look at those comments and be like, what the fuck kind of math they doing in this House of the Dragon video?
Or insult us. We don't mind the insult too. That's fine.
Yeah, that's the generic answer.
Generic. Okay. Here we go. Let's pull this up. You see these book covers?
Sir. Yes, sir.
You see my awesome
a little bit?
Reddit? I tried to.
There we go.
As I'm saying, this was so hard to fucking find this photo here.
Game of Thrones, I like quite a bit. I think that's actually pretty cool. Clash of Kings, it's okay. Well, I guess you should say this style is really nice overall, though, on all of them. Yep. The style is cool.
Style's nice. Well, I like the wolf here, right? Is Stark, cool. Lannister, Lion, Baratheon, Stag. I think it's definitely Crow, but you can also, for Christian's sake, it could be a raven or a whatever bird that the Aarons have. And then you have the dragon eye here. So it's cool that they have kind of the house sigils here.
Cover-wise, though, I think the best two are A Game of Thrones and A Feast for Crows. Both of those look really cool, just the way it's laid out on the artwork. I think it's just really well done. The other ones are cool, too, but I think those are the top two.
Yeah, I like this a lot better than the other book covers they have before. They look so generic. This looks better, but I'm confused who these two women are in this photo. One of them has to be Brienne, right? But who's the other woman? Is it Arya? And I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, given the location, it can't be Daenerys. That's weird.
It looks very feminine-like, but I do like these covers look way better. I think these are the best book covers I've seen for Song of Ice and Fire. So also love just what do you want to call these? The tones of these looks really nice, and the logo up top here, the Song of Ice and Fire. I don't think Song of Ice and Fire had a logo beforehand. I think they just had the George R. R. Martin 2 R's making a sword. I think.
Oh, dude, it's super cool. It's really clean and modern, but it also looks really fantasy. Yep. I'd say that's pretty cool. Definitely better than the old ones.
Yeah, hopefully that was worth $2 for you. No worries, but all right. Thank you all for being here. Go ahead and insult us down in the chat. We want to hear it, but make sure it's YouTube friendly. And we will see you next week. And I'm trying to see where's my fucking clip here.
What clip are you gonna play?
Let's see here. What's our Dude, all of our outro clips are being weird. We'll just play this one.
I
and
know.
we'll get out
I'm
of here.
telling you. All right. Thanks, guys. See you
Something-
next week.
See ya.